era where knowledge can bring so much joy to the world, where knowledge can be earned from the tip of your fingertips. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak aims to provide that necessity to the people of the far and near, with facilities that is equipped with the up-to-date technology. Research and studies would be a breeze. Understanding the needs of the many, where knowledge seeking is crucial for the growth of the mind. We made it our ultimate goal to serve you the best knowledge center available. Outside our walls, we go and reach out to users and potential users in hard-to-reach areas. We'd go over and beyond by traveling to the suburbs to spread knowledge. To enlighten them through several knowledge activities via Pustaka's knowledge resources in our collection. Our responsibility to share latest technology and information. This way, we can ensure that the passion to seek knowledge never fades. It is our utmost mission to cater for and exceed the expected information needs of our users. For such noble cause, we study the profiles of our varied users to undermine their information requirements, get the needed information resources in whatever available formats, printed, non-print or online, and match them with the requirements. We take the extra miles of informing users about our rich information resources and tell them step by step how to identify, select, retrieve, and use these resources. We want our users to be literate in information and knowledge. We want them to be our knowledge beneficiaries. As our priority to preserve the knowledge and our heritage collections, we are committed to provide the user with access for those special and unique collections of Sarawak. With the facilities for storage and repositories, we ensure all the collections and public records which are more than 25 years old, and other documents, papers, instruments, statutes and statutory order, regulations or decrees directed by State Secretary to be maintained, preserved and kept in the State Depository on account of their historical value or public importance. We are eager to expand by preserving the collections through legal deposits, donation, bequeath, oral history, and also transfer of public records for permanent preservation, regardless of its format and media. By creating standard bibliographic records, we will ensure the library resources or materials published in Sarawak can be accessed and will be preserved for future generations. We are going beyond boundaries in order to guide, advise and train all Sarawak government agencies with focus on the implementation of records and archives, management practices and standards thoroughly for Sarawak civil service. Researchers can use our facilities to do research on specific materials, whereby assistance is always available.
Having been here almost 20 over years as a user of Pustaka, it has been a very encouraging experience. Looking at the staff, how they operate this place, and for the past 20 years, this place is still in a very good shape, and it's even better now. So this is something that is very encouraging for us as users.
I think the best thing is that the library actually somehow in a small way that changed my life. First of all, I think the best is that I don't have to buy so many books, and then you don't have to search so far away, but you already can find it in the library. It makes my life easier. You can see, maybe you say reader is very confined to this, maybe very introvert, but actually the books make you more extrovert, meaning that you can actually connect with people better. Thank you very much, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak.
Welcome to the Sarawak State Library, one of the most unique libraries in the world that is surrounded by a park. Whether you are in need of learning materials, reference material, conducive learning environment, the free Wi-Fi, a recreational place for you and your family, or if you're a fitness junkie and looking for a place to jog or work out, the Sarawak State Library got that covered for you.
Hi, my name is Charlie. Let me introduce you to the Sarawak State Library. Other than the Sarawak State Library in Kuching, we have other branch which includes the Sarawak State Library Miri branch and the State Record Repository. The State Library houses a variety of collections which includes the main collection, the reference, the special collections and electronic collections. The main collections include topics ranging from philosophy, religion, social sciences, languages, pure science, technology, art, literature, and history.
We do have non-fictional collection to suit your leisure reading. Did I mention that we have newspaper that we update daily and are available in the newspaper room? No, we have that too. The reference material range from dictionaries, manuals, handbooks, encyclopedias, and atlases. The reference material can be identified from the red label at the spine of the book. These materials are only to be used in the library and not to be borrowed. Photostating is allowed. Simply purchase the photocopy card at the circulation counter level 1. The special collection consists of the Malaysiana collections and Sarakiana collections. To complete these, we have the collections suits our junior reader. Now, these collections are available for the younger user at the Children Infotech, which is the ground floor of the library. Aside from that, we have computers available for you at the same floor in the Multimedia Gallery MMG. To use a computer, make sure that you have registered as a member of the library. Then, just fill in the logbook at the registration counter, and that is about it. Other than the mentioned material, other material is accessible online. For the convenience of our user, we provide online services as well.
I'm talking about the Online Public Access Catalog OPAC. All our collections are registered in the OPAC, whereby it can be accessed anytime, anywhere. With that being said, by simply looking up www.librarynet.com.my, user get to check the availability of the books that they are interested in online.
OPAC also allow user to locate the materials that they want by obtaining the call number of the book. Call number can be seen at the spine of the book.
In other words, you can browse our OPAC and locate the material that you want and reserve it if the status is checked out at the comfort of your home. How convenient is that?
In the case that the book is available in other library, loaning book is made possible with the interlibrary loan, whereby user could loan books from other library with just a fee of 2 ringgit. What's more, book loan is available for institution or agency that have registered with the library. This institution can loan up to 50 to 200 books without fee. Aside that, we have vast online database collection exclusively for our member. Our online databases includes journal, magazine, newspaper, and books. To enjoy the unlimited pass, simply log in using the username and password that you have created during registration. Other than browsing the OPAC for books and accessing the online database, you could also do an online renewal and request for books too. Wi-Fi is available for our user at the library compound. To connect to the Wi-Fi, select LibraryNet from the list of Wi-Fi available and a pop-up will appear asking for the username and password that you have created during registration. Fill that in and you have the access.
Now all these are accessible to our member for free. You heard that right, for free.
To register, simply provide the librarian at the registration counter on the ground floor with your identification card or passport. The librarian will guide you to fill in a short online form. Activation will be done immediately after you press the submit button. Just remember to approach the librarian for your membership activation. Renewal of membership done yearly.
Like the registration, the renewal of membership is also free. Having the habit of misplacing things? Afraid not, we do not provide our user with membership card. However, to access all the services and for future transaction, you will only need to show our librarian your IC.
Our membership are open to the public starting from kids age 4. In addition, you have registered and have forgotten your username or password. Approach a friendly librarian and they will surely lend you a hand.
Now on to the do's and don'ts in the library. While we are striving to provide you with the best services, please adhere to the followings. No food and flavored drinks allowed in the library. No smoking at the library. Keep your volume to minimum when you are in the library. Remember to leave books that have been taken out from the shelf at the trolley provided or the counter. Do not leave your personal belongings unattended. The library is not a playground, therefore books are not toys. For this and more information on the Sarawak State Library, head to our website www.pustaka-sarawak.com. Feel free to give us a call at 082-442-000 or drop us an email to librarian@sarawak.gov.my. Stay tuned for all events or activity hosted by the library, or for any updates and announcement, follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Well, that is all from me. See you at the library.
In an era where knowledge can bring so much joy to the world, where knowledge can be earned from the tip of your fingertips, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak aims to provide that necessity to the people of the far and near. With facilities that is equipped with the up-to-date technology, research and studies would be a breeze. Understanding the needs of the many, where knowledge seeking is crucial for the growth of the mind, we made it our ultimate goal to serve you the best knowledge center available. Outside our walls, we go and reach out to users and potential users in hard-to-reach areas. We'd go over and beyond by traveling to the suburbs to spread knowledge. To enlighten them through several knowledge activities via Pustaka's knowledge resources in our collection. Our responsibility to share latest technology and information. This way, we can ensure that the passion to seek knowledge never fades. It is our utmost mission to cater for and exceed the expected information needs of our users. For such noble cause, we study the profiles of our varied users to undermine their information requirements, get the needed information resources in whatever available formats, printed, non-print, or online, and match them with the requirements. We take the extra miles of informing users about our rich information resources and tell them step by step how to identify, select, retrieve, and use these resources. We want our users to be literate in information and knowledge. We want them to be our knowledge beneficiaries. As our priority to preserve the knowledge and Sarawak heritage collections, we are committed to provide the user with access for those special and unique collections of Sarawak. With the facilities for storage and repositories, we ensure all the collections and public records which are more than 25 years old, and other documents, papers, instruments, statutes and statutory order, regulations or decrees directed by State Secretary to be maintained, preserved and kept in the State Depository on account of their historical value or public importance. We are eager to expand by preserving the collections through legal deposits, donation, bequeath, oral history and also transfer of public records for permanent preservation, regardless of its format and media. By creating standard bibliographic records, we will ensure the library resources or materials published in Sarawak can be accessed and will be preserved for future generations. We are going beyond boundaries in order to guide, advise and train all Sarawak government agencies with focus on the implementation of records and archives, management practices and standards thoroughly for Sarawak civil service. Researchers can use our facilities to do research on specific materials, whereby assistance is always available.
Having been here almost 20 over years as a user of Pustaka, it has been a very encouraging experience. Looking at the staff, how they operate this place, and for the past 20 years, this place is still in a very good shape, and it's even better now. So this is something that is very encouraging for us as users.
I think the best thing is that the library actually somehow in a small way that changed my life. First of all, I think the best is that I don't have to buy so many books, and then you don't have to search so far away, but you already can find it in the library. It makes my life easier. You can see, maybe you say reader is very confined to this, maybe very introvert, but actually the books make you more extrovert, meaning that you can actually connect with people better. Thank you very much, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak.
Welcome to the Sarawak State Library, one of the most unique libraries in the world that is surrounded by a park. Whether you are in need of learning materials, reference material, conducive learning environment, the free Wi-Fi, a recreational place for you and your family, or if you're a fitness junkie and looking for a place to jog or work out, the Sarawak State Library got that covered for you.
Hi, my name is Charlie. Let me introduce you to the Sarawak State Library. Other than the Sarawak State Library in Kuching, we have other branch which includes the Sarawak State Library Miri branch and the State Record Repository. The State Library houses a variety of collections which includes the main collection, the reference, the special collections and electronic collections. The main collections include topics ranging from philosophy, religion, social sciences, languages, pure science, technology, art, literature, and history.
We do have non-fictional collection to suit your leisure reading. Did I mention that we have newspaper that we update daily and are available in the newspaper room? No, we have that too. The reference material range from dictionaries, manuals, handbooks, encyclopedias, and atlases. The reference material can be identified from the red label at the spine of the book. These materials are only to be used in the library and not to be borrowed. Photostating is allowed. Simply purchase the photocopy card at the circulation counter level 1. The special collection consists of the Malaysiana collections and Sarakiana collections. To complete this, we have the collections suits our junior reader. Now, these collections are available for the younger user at the Children Infotech, which is the ground floor of the library. Aside from that, we have computers available for you at the same floor in the Multimedia Gallery MMG. To use a computer, make sure that you have registered as a member of the library. Then, just fill in the logbook at the registration counter, and that is about it. Other than the mentioned material, other material is accessible online. For the convenience of our user, we provide online services as well.
I'm talking about the Online Public Access Catalog OPAC. All our collections are registered in the OPAC, whereby it can be accessed anytime, anywhere. With that being said, by simply looking up www.librarynet.com.my, user get to check the availability of the books that they are interested in online.
OPAC also allow user to locate the materials that they want by obtaining the call number of the book. Call number can be seen at the spine of the book.
In other words, you can browse our OPAC and locate the material that you want and reserve it if the status is checked out at the comfort of your home. How convenient is that?
In the case that the book is available in other library, loaning book is made possible with the interlibrary loan, whereby user could loan books from other library with just a fee of 2 ringgit. What's more, book loan is available for institution or agency that have registered with the library. This institution can loan up to 50 to 200 books without fee. Aside that, we have vast online database collection exclusively for our member. Our online databases includes journal, magazine, newspaper, and books. To enjoy the unlimited pass, simply log in using the username and password that you have created during registration. Other than browsing the OPAC for books and accessing the online database, you could also do an online renewal and request for books too. Wi-Fi is available for our user at the library compound. To connect to the Wi-Fi, select LibraryNet from the list of Wi-Fi available, and a pop-up will appear asking for the username and password that you have created during registration. Fill that in and you have the access.
Now all these are accessible to our member for free. You heard that right, for free.
To register, simply provide the librarian at the registration counter on the ground floor with your identification card or passport. The librarian will guide you to fill in a short online form. Activation will be done immediately after you press the submit button. Just remember to approach the librarian for your membership activation. Renewal of membership done yearly.
Like the registration, the renewal of membership is also free. Having the habit of misplacing things? Afraid not, we do not provide our user with membership card. However, to access all the services and for future transaction, you will only need to show our librarian your IC.
Our membership are open to the public starting from kids age 4. In addition, you have registered and have forgotten your username or password, approach the friendly librarian and they will surely lend you a hand.
Now on to the do's and don'ts in the library. While we are striving to provide you with the best services, please adhere to the followings. No food and flavored drinks allowed in the library. No smoking at the library. Keep your volume to minimum when you are in the library. Remember, to leave books that have been taken out from the shelf at the trolley provided or the counter. Do not leave your personal belongings unattended. The library is not a playground, therefore books are not toys. For this and more information on the Sarawak State Library, head to our website www.pustaka-sarawak.com. Feel free to give us a call at 082-442-000 or drop us an email to librarian@sarawak.gov.my. Stay tuned for all events or activity hosted by the library, or for any updates and announcement, follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Well, that is all from me. See you at the library.
In an era where knowledge can bring so much joy to the world, where knowledge can be earned from the tip of your fingertips, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak aims to provide that necessity to the people of the far and near, with facilities that is equipped with the up-to-date technology. Research and studies would be a breeze. Understanding the needs of the many, where knowledge seeking is crucial for the growth of the mind. We made it our ultimate goal to serve you the best knowledge center available. Outside our walls, we go and reach out to users and potential users in hard-to-reach areas. We'd go over and beyond by traveling to the suburbs to spread knowledge. To enlighten them through several knowledge activities via Pustaka's knowledge resources in our collection. Our responsibility to share latest technology and information. This way, we can ensure that the passion to seek knowledge never fades. It is our utmost mission to cater for and exceed the expected information needs of our users. For such noble cause, we study the profiles of our varied users to undermine their information requirements, get the needed information resources in whatever available formats, printed, non-print, or online, and match them with the requirements. We take the extra miles of informing users about our rich information resources and tell them step by step how to identify, select, retrieve, and use these resources. We want our users to be literate in information and knowledge. We want them to be our knowledge beneficiaries. As our priority to preserve the knowledge and Sarawak heritage collections, we are committed to provide the user with access for those special and unique collections of Sarawak. With the facilities for storage and repositories, we ensure all the collections and public records which are more than 25 years old, and other documents, papers, instruments, statutes and statutory order, regulations or decrees directed by State Secretary to be maintained, preserved and kept in the State Depository on account of their historical value or public importance. We are eager to expand by preserving the collections through legal deposits, donation, bequeath, oral history, and also transfer of public records for permanent preservation, regardless of its format and media. By creating standard bibliographic records, we will ensure the library resources or materials published in Sarawak can be accessed and will be preserved for future generations. We are going beyond boundaries in order to guide, advise and train all Sarawak government agencies with focus on the implementation of records and archives, management practices and standards thoroughly for Sarawak civil service. Researchers can use our facilities to do research on specific materials, whereby assistance is always available.
Having been here almost 20 over years as a user of Pustaka, it has been a very encouraging experience. Looking at the staff, how they operate this place, and for the past 20 years, this place is still in a very good shape, and it's even better now. So this is something that is very encouraging for us as users.
I think the best thing is that the library actually somehow in a small way that changed my life. First of all, I think the best is that I don't have to buy so many books, and then you don't have to search so far away, but you already can find it in the library. It makes my life easier. You can see, maybe you say reader is very confined to this, maybe very introvert, but actually the books make you more extrovert, meaning that you can actually connect with people better. Thank you very much, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak.
Welcome to the Sarawak State Library, one of the most unique libraries in the world that is surrounded by a park. Whether you are in need of learning materials, reference material, conducive learning environment, the free Wi-Fi, a recreational place for you and your family, or if you're a fitness junkie and looking for a place to jog or work out, the Sarawak State Library got that covered for you.
Hi, my name is Charlie. Let me introduce you to the Sarawak State Library. Other than the Sarawak State Library in Kuching, we have other branch which includes the Sarawak State Library Miri branch and the State Record Repository. The State Library houses a variety of collection which includes the main collection, the reference, the special collections, and electronic collections. The main collections include topics ranging from philosophy, religion, social sciences, languages, pure science, technology, art, literature, and history.
We do have non-fictional collection to suit your leisure reading. Did I mention that we have newspaper that we update daily and are available in the newspaper room? No, we have that too. The reference material range from dictionaries, manuals, handbooks, encyclopedias, and atlases. The reference material can be identified from the red label at the spine of the book. These materials are only to be used in the library and not to be borrowed. Photostating is allowed. Simply purchase the photocopy card at the circulation counter level 1. The special collection consists of the Malaysiana collections and Sarakiana collections. To complete these, we have the collections suits our junior reader. Now, these collections are available for the younger user at the Children Infotech, which is the ground floor of the library. Aside from that, we have computers available for you at the same floor in the Multimedia Gallery MMG. To use a computer, make sure that you have registered as a member of the library. Then, just fill in the logbook at the registration counter, and that is about it. Other than the mentioned material, other material is accessible online. For the convenience of our user, we provide online services as well.
I'm talking about the Online Public Access Catalog (OPAC). All our collections are registered in the OPAC, whereby it can be accessed anytime, anywhere. With that being said, by simply looking up www.librarynet.com.my, users get to check the availability of the books that they are interested in online.
OPEC also allows users to locate the materials that they want by obtaining the call number of the book. Call number can be seen at the spine of the book.
In other words, you can browse our OPEC and locate the material that you want and reserve it if the status is checked out at the comfort of your home. How convenient is that?
In the case that the book is available in other library, loaning book is made possible with the interlibrary loan, whereby user could loan books from other library with just a fee of 2 ringgit. What's more, book loan is available for institution or agency that have registered with the library. This institution can loan up to 50 to 200 books without fee. Aside that, we have vast online database collection exclusively for our member. Our online databases includes journal, magazine, newspaper, and books. To enjoy the unlimited pass, simply log in using the username and password that you have created during registration. Other than browsing the OPEC for books and accessing the online database, you could also do an online renewal and request for books too. Wi-Fi is available for our user at the library compound. To connect to the Wi-Fi, select LibraryNet from the list of Wi-Fi available, and a pop-up will appear asking for the username and password that you have created during registration. Fill that in and you have the access.
Now all these are accessible to our member for free. You heard that right, for free.
To register, simply provide the librarian at the registration counter on the ground floor with your identification card or passport. The librarian will guide you to fill in a short online form. Activation will be done immediately after you press the submit button. Just remember to approach the librarian for your membership activation. Renewal of membership done yearly.
Like the registration, the renewal of membership is also free. Having the habit of misplacing things? Afraid not, we do not provide our user with membership card. However, to access all the services and for future transaction, you will only need to show our librarian your IC.
Our membership are open to the public starting from kids age 4. In addition, you have registered and have forgotten your username or password, approach the friendly librarian and they will surely lend you a hand.
Now on to the do's and don'ts in the library. While we are striving to provide you with the best services, please adhere to the followings. No food and flavored drinks allowed in the library. No smoking at the library. Keep your volume to minimum when you are in the library. Remember to leave books that have been taken out from the shelf at the trolley provided or the counter. Do not leave your personal belongings unattended. The library is not a playground, therefore books are not toys. For this and more information on the Sarawak State Library, head to our website www.pustaka-sarawak.com. Feel free to give us a call at 082-442-000 or drop us an email to librarian@sarawak.gov.my. Stay tuned for all events or activity hosted by the library, or for any updates and announcement, follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Well, that is all from me. See you at the library.
In an era where knowledge can bring so much joy to the world, where knowledge can be earned from the tip of your fingertips, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak aims to provide that necessity to the people of the far and near. With facilities that is equipped with the up-to-date technology, research and studies would be a breeze, and understanding the needs of the many, where knowledge seeking is crucial for the growth of the mind, we made it our ultimate goal to serve you the best knowledge center available. Outside our walls, we go and reach out to users and potential users in hard-to-reach areas. We'd go over and beyond by traveling to the suburbs to spread knowledge. To enlighten them through several knowledge activities via Pustaka's knowledge resources in our collection. Our responsibility to share latest technology and information. This way, we can ensure that the passion to seek knowledge never fades. It is our utmost mission to cater for and exceed the expected information needs of our users. For such noble cause, we study the profiles of our varied users to undermine their information requirements, get the needed information resources in whatever available formats, printed, non-print or online, and match them with the requirements. We take the extra miles of informing users about our rich information resources and tell them step by step how to identify, select, retrieve, and use these resources. We want our users to be literate in information and knowledge. We want them to be our knowledge beneficiaries. As our priority to preserve the knowledge and Sarawak heritage collections, we are committed to provide the user with access for those special and unique collections of Sarawak. With the facilities for storage and repositories, we ensure all the collections and public records which are more than 25 years old, and other documents, papers, instruments, statutes and statutory order, regulations or decrees directed by State Secretary to be maintained, preserved and kept in the State Depository on account of their historical value or public importance. We are eager to expand by preserving the collections through legal deposits, donation, bequeath, oral history, and also transfer of public records for permanent preservation, regardless of its format and media. By creating standard bibliographic records, we will ensure the library resources or materials published in Sarawak can be accessed and will be preserved for future generations. We are going beyond boundaries in order to guide, advise and train all Sarawak government agencies with focus on the implementation of records and archives, management practices and standards thoroughly for Sarawak civil service. Researchers can use our facilities to do research on specific materials, whereby assistance is always available.
Having been here almost 20 over years as a user of Pustaka, it has been a very encouraging experience. Looking at the staff, how they operate this place, and for the past 20 years, this place is still in a very good shape, and it's even better now. So this is something that is very encouraging for us as users.
I think the best thing is that the library actually somehow in a small way that changed my life. First of all, I think the best is that I don't have to buy so many books. And then you don't have to search so far away, but you already can find it in the library. It makes my life easier. You can see, maybe you say reader is very confined to this, maybe very introvert, but actually the books make you more extrovert, meaning that you can actually connect with people better. Thank you very much, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak.
Welcome to the Sarawak State Library, one of the most unique libraries in the world that is surrounded by a park. Whether you are in need of learning materials, reference material, conducive learning environment, the free Wi-Fi, a recreational place for you and your family, or if you're a fitness junkie and looking for a place to jog or work out, the Sarawak State Library got that covered for you.
Hi, my name is Charlie. Let me introduce you to the Sarawak State Library. Other than the Sarawak State Library in Kuching, we have other branch which includes the Sarawak State Library Miri branch and the State Record Repository. The State Library houses a variety of collection which includes the main collection, the reference, the special collections, and electronic collections. The main collections include topics ranging from philosophy, religion, social sciences, languages, pure science, technology, art, literature, and history.
We do have non-fictional collection to suit your leisure reading. Did I mention that we have newspaper that we update daily and are available in the newspaper room? No, we have that too. The reference material range from dictionaries, manuals, handbooks, encyclopedias, and atlases. The reference material can be identified from the red label at the spine of the book. These materials are only to be used in the library and not to be borrowed. Photostating is allowed. Simply purchase the photocopy card at the circulation counter level 1. The special collection consists of the Malaysiana collections and Sarakiana collections. To complete these, we have the collections suits our junior reader. Now, these collections are available for the younger user at the Children Infotech, which is the ground floor of the library. Aside from that, we have computers available for you at the same floor in the Multimedia Gallery MMG. To use a computer, make sure that you have registered as a member of the library. Then, just fill in the logbook at the registration counter, and that is about it. Other than the mentioned material, other material is accessible online. For the convenience of our user, we provide online services as well.
I'm talking about the Online Public Access Catalog OPAC. All our collections are registered in the OPAC, whereby it can be accessed anytime, anywhere. With that being said, by simply looking up www.librarynet.com.my, users get to check the availability of the books that they are interested in online.
OPAC also allows users to locate the materials that they want by obtaining the call number of the book. Call number can be seen at the spine of the book.
In other words, you can browse our OPAC and locate the material that you want and reserve it if the status is checked out at the comfort of your home. How convenient is that?
In the case that the book is available in other library, loaning book is made possible with the interlibrary loan, whereby user could loan books from other library with just a fee of 2 ringgit. What's more, Buck Loan is available for institution or agency that have registered with the library. This institution can loan up to 50 to 200 books without fee. Aside that, we have vast online database collection exclusively for our member. Our online databases includes journal, magazine, newspaper, and books. To enjoy the unlimited pass, simply log in using the username and password that you have created during registration. Other than browsing the OPAC for books and accessing the online database, you could also do an online renewal and request for books too. Wi-Fi is available for our user at the library compound. To connect to the Wi-Fi, select LibraryNet from the list of Wi-Fi available and a pop-up will appear asking for the username and password that you have created during registration. Fill that in and you have the access.
Now all these are accessible to our member for free. You heard that right, for free.
To register, simply provide the librarian at the registration counter on the ground floor with your identification card or passport. The librarian will guide you to fill in a short online form. Activation will be done immediately after you press the submit button. Just remember to approach the librarian for your membership activation. Renewal of membership done yearly.
Like the registration, the renewal of membership is also free. Having the habit of misplacing things? Afraid not, we do not provide our user with membership card. However, to access all the services and for future transaction, you will only need to show our librarian your IC.
Our membership are open to the public starting from kids age 4. In addition, you have registered and have forgotten your username or password. Approach the friendly librarian and they will surely lend you a hand.
Now on to the do's and don'ts in the library. While we are striving to provide you with the best services, please adhere to the followings. No food and flavored drinks allowed in the library. No smoking at the library. Keep your volume to minimum when you are in the library. Remember to leave books that have been taken out from the shelf at the trolley provided or the counter. Do not leave your personal belongings unattended. The library is not a playground, therefore books are not toys. For this and more information on the Sarawak State Library, head to our website www.pustaka-sarawak.com. Feel free to give us a call at 082-442-000 or drop us an email to librarian@sarawak.gov.my. Stay tuned for all events or activity hosted by the library, or for any updates and announcement, follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Well, that is all from me. See you at the library.
In an era where knowledge can bring so much joy to the world, where knowledge can be earned from the tip of your fingertips, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak aims to provide that necessity to the people of the far and near. With facilities that is equipped with the up-to-date technology, research and studies would be a breeze. Understanding the needs of the many, where knowledge seeking is crucial for the growth of the mind, we made it our ultimate goal to serve you the best knowledge center available. Outside our walls, we go and reach out to users and potential users in hard-to-reach areas. We'd go over and beyond by traveling to the suburbs to spread knowledge. To enlighten them through several knowledge activities via Pustaka's knowledge resources in our collection. Our responsibility to share latest technology and information. This way, we can ensure that the passion to seek knowledge never fades. It is our utmost mission to cater for and exceed the expected information needs of our users. For such noble cause, we study the profiles of our varied users to undermine their information requirements, get the needed information resources in whatever available formats, printed, non-print, or online, and match them with the requirements. We take the extra miles of informing users about our rich information resources and tell them step by step how to identify, select, retrieve, and use these resources. We want our users to be literate in information and knowledge. We want them to be our knowledge beneficiaries. As our priority to preserve the knowledge and Sarawak heritage collections, we are committed to provide the user with access for those special and unique collections of Sarawak. With the facilities for storage and repositories, we ensure all the collections and public records which are more than 25 years old, and other documents, papers, instruments, statutes and statutory order, regulations or decrees directed by State Secretary to be maintained, preserved and kept in the State Depository on account of their historical value or public importance. We are eager to expand by preserving the collections through legal deposits, donation, bequeath, oral history and also transfer of public records for permanent preservation, regardless of its format and media. By creating standard bibliographic records, we will ensure the library resources or materials published in Sarawak can be accessed and will be preserved for future generations. We are going beyond boundaries in order to guide, advise and train all Sarawak government agencies with focus on the implementation of records and archives, management practices and standards thoroughly for Sarawak civil service. Researchers can use our facilities to do research on specific materials, whereby assistance is always available.
Having been here almost 20 over years as a user of Pustaka, it has been a very encouraging experience. Looking at the staff, how they operate this place, and for the past 20 years, this place is still in a very good shape, and it's even better now. So this is something that is very encouraging for us as users.
I think the best thing is that the library actually somehow in a small way that changed my life. First of all, I think the best is that I don't have to buy so many books, and then you don't have to search so far away, but you already can find it in the library. It makes my life easier. You can see, maybe you say reader is very confined to this, maybe very introvert, but actually the books make you more extrovert, meaning that you can actually connect with people better. Thank you very much, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak.
Welcome to the Sarawak State Library, one of the most unique libraries in the world that is surrounded by a park. Whether you are in need of learning materials, reference material, conducive learning environment, the free Wi-Fi, a recreational place for you and your family, or if you're a fitness junkie and looking for a place to jog or work out, the Sarawak State Library got that covered for you.
Hi, my name is Charlie. Let me introduce you to the Sarawak State Library. Other than the Sarawak State Library in Kuching, we have other branch which includes the Sarawak State Library Miri branch and the State Record Repository. The State Library houses a variety of collection which includes the main collection, the reference, the special collections and electronic collections. The main collections include topics ranging from philosophy, religion, social sciences, languages, pure science, technology, art, literature, and history.
We do have non-fictional collection to suit your leisure reading. Did I mention that we have newspaper that we update daily and are available in the newspaper room? No, we have that too. The reference material range from dictionaries, manuals, handbooks, encyclopedias, and atlases. The reference material can be identified from the red label at the spine of the book. These materials are only to be used in the library and not to be borrowed. Photostating is allowed. Simply purchase the photocopy card at the circulation counter level 1. The special collection consists of the Malaysiana collections and Sarakiana collections. To complete these, we have the collections suits our junior reader. Now, these collections are available for the younger user at the Children Infotech, which is the ground floor of the library. Aside from that, we have computers available for you at the same floor in the Multimedia Gallery MMG. To use a computer, make sure that you have registered as a member of the library. Then, just fill in the logbook at the registration counter, and that is about it. Other than the mentioned material, other material is accessible online. For the convenience of our user, we provide online services as well.
I'm talking about the Online Public Access Catalog OPAC. All our collections are registered in the OPAC, whereby it can be accessed anytime, anywhere. With that being said, by simply looking up www.librarynet.com.my, user get to check the availability of the books that they are interested in online.
OPAC also allow user to locate the materials that they want by obtaining the call number of the book. Call number can be seen at the spine of the book.
In other words, you can browse our OPAC and locate the material that you want and reserve it if the status is checked out at the comfort of your home. How convenient is that?
In the case that the book is available in other library, loaning book is made possible with the interlibrary loan, whereby user could loan books from other library with just a fee of 2 ringgit. What's more, book loan is available for institution or agency that have registered with the library. This institution can loan up to 50 to 200 books without fee. Aside that, we have vast online database collection exclusively for our member. Our online databases includes journal, magazine, newspaper, and books. To enjoy the unlimited pass, simply log in using the username and password that you have created during registration. Other than browsing the OPAC for books and accessing the online database, you could also do an online renewal and request for books too. Wi-Fi is available for our user at the library compound. To connect to the Wi-Fi, select LibraryNet from the list of Wi-Fi available, and a pop-up will appear asking for the username and password that you have created during registration. Fill that in and you have the access.
Now all these are accessible to our member for free. You heard that right, for free.
To register, simply provide the librarian at the registration counter on the ground floor with your identification card or passport. The librarian will guide you to fill in a short online form. Activation will be done immediately after you press the submit button. Just remember to approach the librarian for your membership activation. Renewal of membership done yearly.
Like the registration, the renewal of membership is also free. Having the habit of misplacing things? Afraid not, we do not provide our user with membership card. However, to access all the services and for future transaction, you will only need to show our librarian your IC.
Our membership are open to the public starting from kids age 4. In addition, you have registered and have forgotten your username or password, approach a friendly librarian and they will surely lend you a hand.
Now on to the do's and don'ts in the library. While we are striving to provide you with the best services, please adhere to the followings. No food and flavored drinks allowed in the library. No smoking at the library. Keep your volume to minimum when you are in the library. Remember, to leave books that have been taken out from the shelf at the trolley provided or the counter. Do not leave your personal belongings unattended. The library is not a playground, therefore books are not toys. For this and more information on the Sarawak State Library, head to our website www.pustaka-sarawak.com. Feel free to give us a call at 082-442-000 or drop us an email to librarian@sarawak.gov.my. Stay tuned for all events or activity hosted by the library, or for any updates and announcement, follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Well, that is all from me. See you at the library.
Ladies and gentlemen, be informed that the program today is briefing session Education is Great Tour. We will be joined shortly by Encik Wan Mazli Wan Razali, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Operation of Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. As we are about to begin in a bit, I would like to request for those that are sitting at the back, please move forward. Please fill up the front seat. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Yang Berusaha Hajah Salina Haji Zawawi, Deputy Chief Executive Officer Services of Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, distinguished guests, fellow colleagues, ladies and gentlemen who are joining us via Zoom. Welcome to the briefing session Education is Great Tour. This session is in conjunction with the Education is Great Tour by the British Embassy and High Commission Asia Pacific in partnership with University Bookstore Malaysia, UBSM, and Solusi Edukasi International Indonesia SEI. The briefing aims to highlight the successful classrooms implementations worldwide of their education products and how this has assisted teaching and learning for both teachers and students. Before we begin, I would like to invite Mr. Keith Tong, Group Managing Director, University Bookstore Malaysia, UBSM, and Chairman of Malaysia Book Industry Chamber to say a few words. Please welcome.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for making time and making a journey to Pustaka Negeri Sarawak to hear our sharing. And to those of you who are online, welcome, welcome, welcome. We know Sarawak is a super, super big state, and traveling is actually quite a distance. In fact, some of our guests were saying, wow, you mean you need to travel 1 hour from one city to another city by plane? That is a really big state, you know, which indeed it is. All right. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the state for having a new governor, the Tun Yang Terutama, and the installation happened to be today. And a lot of the ministers were supposed to be coming. That is a higher calling that they need to do as such. But the good thing is, we are in a technological field, in a technological world. What we're going to do is that the presentation will probably take about 2 hours from 5 very distinguished companies from the UK and also adapted to the Asia setting. Now, with AI, probably we can just tell the AI to watch all the presentation and give a summary to the VIPs nanti. So probably just a few minutes, right? Whatever you present, they'll give all the summary and all the important point using artificial intelligence for the leadership and stakeholders team. Okay. So first of all, thank you to Pustaka Negeri Sarawak for hosting this event. We have always been doing a lot of events with Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. They're the champion of education and also librarianship. We did a digital odyssey in 2016 where we actually invited people from all over Sarawak to participate, where we have actually 8 speakers from all over the world presenting. And that trip we actually do for Sarawak, do for Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and we did for Thailand. All right. But this year, this trip is that I know some of you went to the BET show, the British Education and Technology show, the largest tech show in the world. And immediately after the tech show, you guys flew down, and it's kind of a short notice to organize this whole thing. And it's actually crazy. We are doing one location one day. Today we are doing Sarawak. Tomorrow will be Kuala Lumpur. And then the next day, Wednesday, we'll be doing Singapore. And Thursday, we'll be doing Indonesia. All right. In fact, we were berbelah bahagi. Shall we do Bangkok or Sarawak? We told them, hey, you all go to Bangkok all the time. We do Sarawak. So we actually skip Bangkok to do Sarawak. So it's kind of a blessing for us to have all of you here. We thank all the participants who come and share your success story.
Oke, nya bukan all books lah, nya buku dan website. Sorry.
These 5 companies are part of the UK Education is Great tour. Now, the things that there are 2 companies which want to share, like say how great companies or those kind of super companies has actually adapted to the local setting. Now, what it means is that how do we apply all this good stuff in the local setting? All right. Like say, for example, BBC, how they actually use all the content in BBC to make it suitable and relevant and applicable in the local Asian setting. Another very good example that I'm very proud of sharing is the MeBooks venture, where they actually partner with MeBooks UK and bought shares into MeBooks UK and eventually bought the company, and they make it a great success. And the implementation is done in Sarawak, and every baby born will be blessed because of this initiative. And it's a partnership with Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. And now, because of the success and the various global awards that we actually won, all right, now one of the largest company, Penguin, one of the biggest company with all those Ladybird, Rodor, Dr. Seuss, and so on, they have actually assigned them to put the voice talent into all these great books that we can actually share with the rest of the world. So without further ado, I will welcome the speakers, and they will take turns to share their success story, their implementation in their own home ground, and hope you have a wonderful and enjoyable session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Kitong. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are joining us via Zoom, please be reminded to always keep your mic mute. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, first up, we have Picatil. Picatil is a generative AI reading program, offers a carefully curated library with narration designed for non-native speakers. Its interactive reading experience and book quizzes enable development tracking in a differentiated classroom and aiming to unlock the reading potential of the next generation. The goal is to address global literacy challenges, instill the joy of reading in children, and provides teachers and parents with innovative tools to support children's learning. Now, we are honored to have Mr. Ramsey as our esteemed speaker on this product. Mr. Ramsey, with over 25 years of teaching experience, has been actively involved in the EdTech sphere for the past decade, collaborating with schools and educators to integrate technology in classroom. With that, I would like to invite Mr. Ramsey to share insights on Picatil.
So good afternoon, ministers. Good afternoon, educators of Sarawak.
Right. Yeah.
Just 1 second. We're just waiting technologically screen to be shared onto the big screen over here. Be visible to everyone who's on Zoom currently. Just while we're doing that, it's a real honor to be in Sarawak. It's my first time in Malaysia, and it's a real treat to meet with you all and to talk about Picatil. So without further ado, I just have to apologize. Perfect. Thank you so much up at the back there. On behalf of Sig Dugal, our founder and CEO, who was supposed to be here this afternoon presenting with me, he's currently laid up in his hotel. He has a high fever, and so we wish him well and a swift recovery. And so for this particular instance, I'm going to be delivering this myself. Now, Picatil has been a reading platform created in 2013, designed for families. And for the last 3 years, we've now been in the schools market. We're in 30 countries around the world, and we have over 200,000 students currently accessing us. We have, alongside the content, we have a teacher dashboard, we have a web reader, we're app-based as well. We know the future is allowing children to access good quality literature on mobile phones, on tablets, etc. Perfect. It's ultimately about giving teachers insights, investigating the data, and then allowing the children to progress through their reading journey. Mobile phones, tablets will be the future. We know physical books will go alongside them. We're not here to replace physical books, but we know that's a gateway to getting high quality literature across to all students across the world. We link into the CEFR, so that's the Common European Framework regarding the progression of reading ability. And we've been a trusted school partner for many schools across multiple territories. And we really want to make an impact across the whole globe. Now, I'm taking a bit of a risk today. I'm going to give you a live demonstration of our platform. It's not just going to be on a slide deck. Hence, I'm hoping that we'll get onto Wi-Fi on my iPad, because I'd love to show you what the student view is. But while we're doing that, I'm just going to move over to our website. We currently have over 2,500 books. This is being added to every month. So it's an exponentially increasing library. We have Picatil Originals at the very front and center of what we offer. But also our content team has now developed partnerships with key publishers. For example, from the UK, we have Oxford University Press and Arcturus. And then also from the US, we have Cricket, Exist, and Bearport. Now, in order for you to understand perhaps the breadth and diversity of the content, because we know that providing a variety of books for the students, that allows them to really develop interest in multiple topics. So I'm just starting off with our Pickettale Originals. We commissioned a whole series on the Sustainable Development Goals just over 2 years ago. But where this is special is that we've written it from the point of view of two 11-year-olds. So you've got two reporters on the left, Scooper on the right, and they report back to the class about what these Sustainable Development Goals mean, but in the language of an 11-year-old. They need to understand these quite complex topics that we as adults are even struggling to understand, and being able to then debate and do calls to action. We also have differentiated readers. Now, I'm a teacher myself, and I know that by having the same book set at 3 separate stages allows all the children in my class to access the same content, despite different language abilities. We focus on PSHE, personal, social, and health education. So for example, just after lockdown, we did on empathy and various other things, including social studies and so on. And then we're an innovative company. So we've started animating books, and I really hope I have the opportunity to show you them. The nice thing is, being a web reader, is that I can just link any book into my planning. I can open it up within the browser, and then I can access it at the front of the class. We have interactive books, so I'm able to click on the illustrations,
Chick,
and then read it out,
mirror,
and then
Tommy,
really practice that pronunciation and spelling. So great for English language teaching, getting children really working on that. We have audio behind all our books as well.
we are all different. Being different makes us special. Sometimes our differences make us unhappy.
Okay, so I'll stop that there. You can see we have karaoke style highlighting. And again, it really helps with that acquisition of language. And again, I'm focusing on a book different. We want to appreciate the diversity of individuals and humans in our world. So just moving back over, just brief highlights. Oh, I just lost my screen a second. Thank you. So whether it's OUP, who most of you know of, they've been around over 500 years. They've got classics, they've got humorous books, they've got serious books. The book Lubna and the Pebble is about a young refugee. And again, we need to help children understand these quite sensitive subjects. Arcturus help us with STEAM, science, technology, arts, and maths. And again, whether it's science, maths, whether it's classics, or indeed binge-worthy series. We've got the Magical Rescue Vets, Una the which we know has been immensely popular amongst our readers. Then Bearport help us with what we call high-low books, high interest, low reading ability. So whether it's inspirational characters in the Bear Cub bios, countries we come from, a whole series on sharks, the data showed us kids are fascinated by sharks more than any other animal in the world. Unbelievable, but again, we wanted to then furnish that. And then graphic novels. We know for the more reluctant reader, that can be a great gateway forward. Cricket help us with stories from other cultures. So whether it's from Japan, Lithuania, from Korea, even a humorous one about noodle eating. We want children to understand the differences in the planet. And then Exist help us with the younger readers. So we have decodable phonics books. And Pickettale has now got its own phonics program that we're digitizing at the moment that is UK government accredited. So again, that will help with that whole learning to read journey. And then finally, we have 4 smaller publishers, whether it's the DNA Detective series rooted in solid science, chapter books, 250 pages long, or whether it's history, humor, or indeed getting out into nature. So hopefully you've got an understanding of now some of the variety of books that we present to children. We organize these books into 8 distinct stages though, from the very beginner reader and then marrying across particularly K1 through to K6. And then for your high ability free readers, we have this 6+. So again, chapter books or perhaps books on more complex subjects such as DNA and profiling that we want 11, 12-year-olds to begin to understand. We very much take children though on a reading journey. They're learning to read at stages 0, 1, and 2. They're then reading independently with, well, hopefully pleasure, but with fluency at 3, 4, and 5. And then they're reading for learning by the time they get to 6 and 6+. So again, it's this pathway that we take the students on. So ultimately, we want to get the parents involved. We have a letter that goes back to the parents. we know that then completes the little triangle: student, teacher, parent. And we know that will then produce academic success. So dive into the platform itself. On the website, I can just click school login as a student or a teacher. And what will happen is it will then open me up directly into the library. So once I'm in the library, I'm able then to access the books. They will then list, as you can see, coming down. We've gone for a Netflix style library. Again, really trying to appeal for those students to get involved in the books. We have a teacher dashboard that sits behind it. And if I was just to zoom in a little bit, we record all the reading data. We're going to be updating this UI next month to then produce graphs. Everything's downloadable. And again, it shows the progress of what the children have been doing. Ultimately, though, we want to be able to intervene where appropriate. So in this case, I could see Fatima and Ishmael perhaps need a bit of extra with their comprehension. We have quizzes behind all of this. But all the time, I can click on an individual reader and then see everything that they've read and then plot them from the next plot. We're able to come in, though, and find books that link in with curriculum. We're now writing books to fit in with curriculums in each territory. So we would work alongside Sarawak, and then we would then find books that would then support what you're learning and teaching in the classroom. So in this case, perhaps I'm going to click search. I'm just going to search for the word eco. And as you notice, I've got various filters I can apply. So I might start off just with an English UK narrator. I might start stage 4. We might look for books with quizzes. And then I access all the 27 categories. So I might choose animals. Once I'm in here as a teacher, with just 3 clicks, I can click assign to students. My students will list up. And then when I click save changes, that will be then pushed out to all the students' bookshelves. What I'm hoping for in a minute, I'm going to move over and you'll see that book as a student would. So whether or not it's books that the teachers are going to use at the front of the classroom, in this case, you'll notice little notifications popped up. Have I gone to get snacks? That's just to say that I've moved away from this tab. I'm not currently reading. We've stopped the statistics, and therefore the children can't hack our system. We know some children are quite clever, shall we say, and want to try and obviously prove to the teacher that they have read when they perhaps haven't. But the nice thing is any teacher is able just to zoom into any part of any of our books, use that to illustrate a key teaching point, and then move back to their relevant lesson. Just moving over to the Pick a Stage books, so differentiated readers. Same book, set a different complexity level. In this case, I'm on a lovely book, Eliot and the Wandering Forest. I'm opening it up in the platform, and I'm on stage 1 of the book, the low version. So as you can see, I've got 2 simple sentences describing what's happening on this page. By the time I move up, though, to the stage 2 book, I've added in extra detail. So for example, I've added in a fronted adverbial here, as well as an adjective phrase to give that more detail. And then by the time I get to stage 3, again, we're picking up that description. We're showing how authors really make a story come alive. So now I've got those fronted adverbials, I've got additional adjectives, I've even got similes in here, shone like a diamond. And so we can really demonstrate to children how their writing can improve through their reading. Then it's about innovation. And this is where I normally hand over to Sig. He is our founder and absolute everything getting exciting technology moving forward. So one thing we've introduced is short videos that introduce and set a context for a book. So in this case, we're learning about the Stone Age.
Long ago, people in the Stone Age used their creativity to make tools and weapons. They hunted wild animals and gathered plants for food. They were called hunter-gatherers. During the Mesolithic period, people learned how to fish and collect seeds to plant. In the Neolithic period, people developed farming and built more permanent settlements. They communicated through cave paintings, telling stories about their brave hunts and adventures.
Okay. So the videos are 20 seconds long. They allow the children some prerequisite knowledge. They then go straight into the book, and then they read it, and then they can gain that extra comprehension regarding what the book's about. And that really, as I say, academically, research has really shown that makes a massive difference. I also mentioned animated books. So in this case, I've got a delightful book about the Vikings, perhaps not a delightful area of time, but again, a real area to start picking up. So when I click over the page, what you'll notice is the seas started to move now, the lightning striking. I can still access the audio as before.
There were terrible lightning storms and dragons flew in the air.
But that way it might appeal to that child who's a little bit more resistant about reading normal books. They're perhaps a little bit captivated by TikTok. We are in a generational crisis at the moment. And so by enabling them to use technology to access reading could be a gateway forward. So what I wanted to show you just was from a student viewpoint. They can use the web reader, but we have apps at the very heart of what we offer. So I'm just going to move over iPad and see if it connects nicely. Otherwise, I will quietly move on. But let's have a look. See, let's just quickly turn that down and just start it up again. Just 2 seconds. As you know, working with technology can be a blessing and can be a curse. So hopefully we're going to come in. No, it's not playing ball today. Just give it another quick. It's working obviously 5 minutes before the session. But that is absolutely the nature of what we do. So I'll just give it one last chance and then we'll just quit it here and then just restart it. So come in and open it up, give it 2 seconds. I should see myself if all goes well. And then finally onto the iPad and hopefully, fingers crossed, yay. So I will just come back over, we will full screen it and just come over to here. So I've logged in as a student now. Imagine they're on their mobile phone or a tablet, Chromebook, or indeed the web reader. So the very first thing I can do is just at the very top of the screen, I can see the assigned books. And as you can see, the book on the oceans I've assigned earlier, and it's now front and center to read. Like I said, we've gone for this Netflix, Disney Plus style approach. And that way we want children to really go off and explore different types of books. But what I'd like to do is just imagine I've done a lesson on pollination and how plants reproduce. So I've assigned a book to the students. I want them to understand the roles that bees play. So we've come into the book itself. Again, we've got those features. You can click on the text. You can have text only should you wish, which again, on a mobile phone makes all of the difference. Now, I'm just going to fast forward to the end of the book. So I would be suspicious, by the way, of that student's reading time. I think that was less than 20 seconds. But again, it's fed through in the actual book. But we've organized our comprehension quizzes in terms of higher and lower order critical skills. So we start off with lower order skills. And in this case, imagine this is for a 12-year-old. We've got a vocabulary question. What does enduring mean? And it means lasting for a long time. So the child will get positive affirmation sound coming through. We now move on just to a simple retrieval question. In this case, I'm confident it's winter that they then save this food for. And then moving on to higher order critical thinking skills. So we now have an explanation question. And I'm unsure about this one. It might be to attract a new queen. No, it wasn't. So again, I review my answers at the end. We then have a sequencing question. And I'm confident it's pollination. And then we conclude with a summarized question. Not explicit in the book, but if I read it, I would understand that we need bees to pollinate our plants. So the student gets feedback at this point. They get to see their answers should they wish. And then they can retake it. They could get that perfect score, which we know lots of children want to do. But equally, they have their own student reporting page. And this then picks up everything they've done. So you can see the internet's misbehaving slightly. You did see the graphs were there. And then they can feed that back to their parents, teachers, etc. But it gives them agency. It allows ownership over their own reading journey. So whether it's app or web reader, we're very much heart and front and center of the classroom. Now, we have been innovating though. So we're looking at different ways of which we can present this information. So one of our ones is about using Picotel Alive, getting AI avatars. So I'm quietly hopeful. We've got a book on the theory of evolution, shall I say, rather than the whole book on the theory of evolution. But Charles
Hello,
Darwin.
young friends. I'm Charles Darwin. Hello, young friends. I'm Charles Darwin. I was born in England in 1809. I went on an amazing adventure aboard the HMS Beagle. exploring places all around the world. I found ancient fossils that showed how animals changed over millions of years. I had a big idea called the theory of evolution. It means animals can change and adapt. My work still helps scientists today to understand the amazing diversity of life on Earth.
So again, 30 seconds long, introduces the book, and then gives that child a real insight into what the book's going to be about. And then, like I said, you can use the audio to listen to it.
Boy to man. Charles Darwin was born on February.
And then again, I can speed or slow down the narration as I wish. But again, we're exploring these new innovations to get children captivated about reading and learning. And then what I'm going to conclude with, and like I said, this is very much Sig's baby, but I'm going to have a go myself at presenting it. So we have an AI book creator. So a teacher will be able to, with their class, create a book on any given topic. And that could be something that's come up within a lesson, or it could be something a student's brought in. In my day, we'd send off the children into Google. They'd try and research that topic, and they'd come back and present it as a PowerPoint or a Google slide. And that was a little bit hit or miss, shall I say. They didn't really get the language levels, and they really struggled a bit with the whole journey. Whereas in about 3 or 4 minutes, we can create a book on a given topic. So I was given a tip that perhaps Malaysian folk theatre might be something that we want to find out about. So the first thing I do is I just assign the language, and we can go into multiple languages with this. We can then set the reading level, and then we choose the illustration type. So in each case, you'll see an illustration example of the different styles that could be introduced. Now in each one, and I'm afraid the internet's slightly slow, so this might be slightly slower than we think, but we've got different styles. So almost we've got an origami style for this particular one. What I'm going to do is just go for the same one there, click next. And then what this book is going to be done is it's going to be packaged. It's going to produce a book with text boxes and illustrations, but allow the class to be moderators of this AI. That's the key point. So imagine they are editors. They're going to go in, examine the text, mess around with it. They can analyze it in terms of complexity. If they don't like a particular illustration, they can regenerate that illustration. They can then share it with the class, and that way they can really learn these 21st century skills that I talked about in my teaching, probably over a decade ago, that have really evolved since then. Maybe we need to start calling them 21st and a half century skills, because AI is going to be something that we're really going to utilize moving forward. So apologies, it's just slightly slow generating this, but what I'm going to do is hopefully get a book with 5 pages. I have prepared one in the background that we could always move to if we had to, but I'd like to do this obviously live in the way. But I think we all agree here that AI is something that we're really beginning just to understand where it can be placed within education. We've really got to be key though in terms of how we understand it and how we allow the students to really become editors, moderators, and then enable it, as well as approach topics and subjects that perhaps you wouldn't normally be able to find easy literature without doing lots of deep research on the internet. So it's just taking a bit longer. Normally it takes 2 minutes, but in this case, maybe slightly longer. But oh, I've got a little bit of a problem. So what I'm hoping is if I move over to my other tab, and we just come back out, and I click on the narrator, and we're just going to refresh this page. I think I still have got internet, but this is the moment I just quietly hope it will work, because as I say, I did create 2 books earlier. But just give it a second. I can see the reload button is working, but quietly hoping. Obviously, we have got this. Oh, this is nice. So can you see that in my library, I've got a number of books that were created before this live session. So in this case, I've got one, Shadows and Songs, A Journey Through Malaysian Folk Theatre. And equally, I generated a book called Detective Reader, Mastering the Art of Critical Reading, that again could be presented to a child. So I'm just going to open up the book Shadows and Songs. And then with any luck, as you can see, I can send it to my class, I can re-edit it, I could translate the book into different languages, as well as read the book in my reader. And so I'm hoping, if I move over perhaps to this one here. So this was the book I created. It's at a very low language level, so suitable perhaps 5 to 6 year olds. And then I'm going to add a narrator to it. So I chose a narrator with the text.
Shadows and Songs, a journey through Malaysian folklore theatre. Malaysian folklore theatre is a special way of telling stories. It uses acting, music, and dance. It's like a play, but with a twist. The stories often come from old tales that have been passed down for many years. One type of Malaysian theatre is called...
Okay, so I'm going to pause that there, but you get the idea of what a class could be enabled to do in terms of creating content themselves. And like I said, the other one I just did, which again, I did in a cartoon style this time, you choose what the illustrations are, but then ultimately it's about editing the text.
Detective Reader, mastering the art of critical reading. Critical reading is like being a detective.
Okay, so
when we read, we look for clues.
So hopefully you're understanding a bit more about the Picatel reading platform. Whether it's as a teacher or a student, you come directly into the library. Teachers then understand the reading journeys of the children. Data is very much at the heart of what we offer. And then what we're able to enable students to do, and teachers, is to really generate content and also link to the curriculums itself. So whether it's animated books, whether it's books with narration, whether it's partner publishers, we very much hope that we can offer something to the students within Sarawak. So thank you very much. And I'd just like to invite any questions from you. If you're feeling shy, email me afterwards. Fantastic. Oh, that's great to hear. I couldn't agree more. But if you haven't got any questions, I think it'd be a lovely opportunity to perhaps move on to one of our other distinguished companies that's going to be here. And I'm unsure who's going next, actually, which is a bit embarrassing, but perhaps Andrew, is it Oxed? Fantastic. So, am I okay? Is it going to make a loud noise when I put it out?
Thank you, Mr. Ramsey, on the sharing. Now let's shift our focus to Oxed and Assessment Ltd. Oxed, a University of Oxford spin-out, is dedicated to developing educational apps and interventions that significantly improve outcomes of children. They spearhead a research-driven early years language program with proven educational benefits. Their mission is to apply research findings through top-notch assessment, interventions, and training, aiming to improve global educational outcome and ensure every child's success. Before we welcome Mr. Andrew Mendoza to enlighten us about Oxed and its key solutions, let me provide a brief introduction. Mr. Andrew Mendoza, a long-lasting board member and engaged advisor since Oxed inception, brings a specialized focus on edtech and training enterprises. His expertise spans various sectors, including digital marketing, corporate training, healthcare, and K-12, where he has made significant contribution to enhancing learning outcome. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Andrew Mendoza.
Good afternoon, dignitaries, ladies, gentlemen, and critically educators. It's great to be here today. It's a pleasure to be here in Sarawak. And what I'd like to tell you about is Oxed, which is a spin-out from Oxford University, founded by two of the world's leading professors of education to leverage their decades of science and research. The foundation of all reading, all learning, maths, science, good behavior is language. And for children to enjoy and learn from a lot of the wonderful solutions you're going to hear about this afternoon. Oral language is fundamental. Oxford has developed an intervention, a solution called NELI, which stands for the Nuffield Early Language Intervention, which is one of the world's best evidenced education interventions. It's certainly the best evidenced language intervention. Is probably one of the top 3 evidence educations of any type in the world. And it's used to help children who have poor language skills to catch up to the average. And typically poor language skills are associated with either rural and or poor socioeconomic background. And these children, if they do not get this support, get left behind. And if you imagine 5, 10, 15 years time, these children have poor outcomes before they've left primary school. And what the NELI program does is catch those children up to the average. There are 3 key elements of the training, which I think are actually a really good fit with some of Sarawak's initiatives. The Pro ELT program, I understand, is very important. We've got a very strong training component. We've got 10 to 18 hours of online training, half of which teaches about fundamentals of language reading and learning, and half of which helps teachers to execute the program. We've got a 10-minute mobile app that screens each child on their language skills, which is as accurate in 10 minutes as a 40-minute one-to-one session with a language and speech therapist. And then we have a series of structured materials to help the teacher execute the intervention. So in a sense, we're a very old-fashioned way of educating. We're providing materials to teachers to operate in the classroom or in small groups and one-to-one, and we use technology to deliver the training and the assessment. And there's some phenomenal benefits. The first benefit is that the children catch up and they stay caught up, which means they can learn to read, they can learn to understand, they can learn maths, they can learn science. The intervention can be delivered by less qualified teachers. So in the UK, we have teaching assistants. In the US, they have paraprofessionals. These children can be taken out of the class by less qualified teachers or volunteers or teacher support that's in the school for about 5 or 6 hours a week for 20 weeks. So it's a very good way of leveraging precious teacher time. And then finally, the test is super time efficient, so it'll be 10 minutes long. And we'll talk at the end also about how we have a reading test as well. And I think you may be interested in exploring this reading test to see how it links to your own reading assessment program. So that's the summary of everything I'm going to go through. I'm now going to take it one step at a time. So these are Charles Hume on the left and Maggie Snowling on the right. They're both professors of education. They're professors at the University of Oxford, and before that they were professors at UCL and the University of New York. They have literally written the book on the science of reading. The book in the bottom right is about 1.5 inches thick and captures a lot of science and evidence. And that's very important to them as a philosophy. They only want to put educational practice into place that has a very, very strong evidence background. And that's what this NELI program does to enable schools to identify children that need help, to track their progress and to improve educational outcomes. And we've done many, many randomized control trials which demonstrates these results. But why is it so important? So I don't know how many of you are familiar with this. Hands up, anyone in the audience who's familiar with this construct called Scarborough's rope. Is that familiar to anyone? Okay, so this rope here represents the strands that are necessary for children to be able to have skilled reading. Skilled reading means reading comprehension. That means they understand what's going on. And critically, it has 2 components. The green component is where most educational organizations and ministries focus their time. It's on word recognition and decoding. So in the UK, we've had a massive emphasis on phonics. All the phonics programs you know about are the green. But actually equally important, if not more important at an early stage, is language, which here is the blue. It is language comprehension. This is what children used to learn when they were playing at home, when they were spending time with their mothers and fathers, when they were singing nursery rhymes. This is what got really, really badly affected with COVID and excessive exposure to screens. So what Nelly and the language program does is address the language comprehension element of it before schools start to do decoding and phonics to build skilled reading. And the science also says that when we look at what makes a good reader, how good are they at language comprehension? How good are they at decoding? To be good at both, they need to have good language. So language is a fundamental foundation, both decoding and comprehension. That's based on a lot of scientific research. So for you, all of you who are at a ministry level, this is probably the most important slide in the presentation. Along the bottom are the months of the children, from 42 months, that's 3.5 years old, up to 6 or 7 years old. And on the y-axis is the score that the children get on a language screen. So you can see at 42 months, there's a very, very wide variation. You can see at 96 months, so the children are older, there's a much narrower variation at the top. But these tails are children who just have not caught up with their language. These are children who are going to struggle to read, who are going to struggle to communicate, probably won't be able to learn maths. And we also see something called the Matthews effect, that if you don't close this gap, the gap gets wider over time. So if you want to make sure that you're delivering at government or state level good educational outcomes, you need to be working on getting rid of the tail, moving the tail up to the average. And that is what Nelly does. Nelly does three things. It has the language screener, which identifies children, puts them on that axis. It has online training, which is asynchronous, you can do it any time, which is for teachers and educators in schools to learn about the fundamentals of language and reading and then to apply it. And then we've got three types of intervention and support. We've got the small group, which is probably suitable for K to 2, and that helps the children who are the most underperforming, bottom 20 or 25%. We also have activities for the whole class, which starts pre-K, moving up to, that takes the average up. Oral language enrichment is great for all children, but if you really want to improve the outcomes overall, you're gonna address the small groups for the children that need the most help. So on the right-hand side, you can see a group of children before the intervention and after the intervention. The dark green is the top 75%, the light green are the children who are struggling. And these are the scores before the intervention and after the intervention. So astonishingly and importantly, the children who get the intervention catch up with the rest of the class because they just needed the time to work on these language skills. And quite often these children will be identified as being special needs or having difficulties around learning or dyslexia. They're not, they just don't have the language skills to be able to do what the rest of the class does. What's also fascinating now, as we're many years into the program of research, is that these effects are long lasting. Not only do they catch up immediately after the intervention, but they stay caught up for 2 or 3 years. So this is a really, really powerful way of impacting these children's development. How do we do it? So this is how the intervention works. It's a 20-week targeted intervention delivered by the teachers, and it's 3 25-minute group sessions and 2 15-minute individual sessions. It's very structured. It tells the teacher how to do every week, and there's a handbook that the teacher goes through, and it's probably for 5 or 6 children in the class if your class is 25 children. Additionally, you have a similar program that's called whole class or universal enrichment, which is 1 hour a week. So the teacher doesn't have to take the children out. but everyone gets 1 hour of specified and structured language enrichment activities. All of our program was developed in English, but it's easy to be localized. We've fully translated this into a number of languages. So the assessment, the training, and the teacher handbooks are all in local language, but as I understand it, your principal focus is on teaching English and teaching in English, so it works perfectly as it is. I'm going to skip over this a little bit I won't show you a demonstration of language screen, but in the 10 minutes, it measures 4 key components of language and oral language development. Expressive vocabulary, can I say things? Listening comprehension, do I understand things? Receptive vocabulary, do I understand what's said? And then sentence repetition. And this is as accurate in 10 minutes delivered by an unskilled but trained teacher is as accurate as 40 minutes one-on-one session with a speech and language therapist. We'll make sure that we send you the presentation with the video so you can see an example of the video in action. The online training has been experienced by over 25,000 trainees. So I should have said earlier that some of the numbers here are vast. The analysis of the language capability you saw earlier was on 1/3 children in the UK, because this has been rolled out at scale by the UK Ministry of Education to about 10,000 schools for each of the last 4 years. And this is fundamental to helping the teacher understand both why they're doing it and what the nature of the intervention is. And it's got a few quizzes to test the teachers as they go. And it talks about key elements such as the importance of oral language, practicalities of implementing the intervention, and teaching teachers about key elements of letter sounds and phonological awareness. The early screening is really important because quite often teachers don't identify. There might be quiet children who've got good language skills, but there might be noisy children who've got poor language skills. So it's very important that the screening is done to make sure that the intervention is done on the right children. And here's some of the background here. It was introduced as part of the COVID recovery because the DFE, the UK Department of Education, recognised that children had impaired language development because of COVID. It was then been rolled out to about 11,000 schools in each of the last 3 years. 600,000 students assessed and 150,000 students have been through NELI. And it's one of the best evidenced interventions that they've seen. The Education Endowment Fund is a UK government body that does evidence-based and measurement-based interventions across many, many 10s and 20s of different types of education intervention. Very briefly, we also have a reading screen, which is the same 10 minutes of assessment, testing different things such as word reading and also synthetic or imagined word reading. And I think this is probably a good place to stop. By doing language screen and reading screen at the beginning of the year, the teacher is able to identify every child in the class on the basis of simple view reading. How good are they at the decoding and how good are they at language comprehension? So they can start to tailor attention to each of those children based on how, whether red, amber or green, and clearly the children who are in the red section can get the language intervention, and the teacher can work on the children who need decoding help through whatever phonics or decoding program. So that's a quick version of doing everything. Are there any other questions or areas that people would like me to focus on? I'll just show you. The assessment would be done like this at the beginning of the year. The teacher or teacher assistant would sit with the child and they'd spend 10 minutes on a mobile or a tablet or a laptop. The child would interact with the interaction and the teacher would score how they do. And after 10 minutes, it's done. All the data's fed through and that child's performance is compared against everyone in the class, everyone in the school, and a very large non-reference database. Yes, so the test is accurate because it's the result of 30 years of research into what types of student outcome indicate what level the child is on language ability. All the 10 minutes gives one number basically, which is how well that child scores at an absolute level and how from 1% to 100% how they rank against other children of a similar age. Yeah. So one of the things that you would do in Sarawak and Malaysia is build that database of, say, low thousands of students to build your own database, so that then you could start effectively comparing children in Sarawak and Malaysia against other children in Sarawak and Malaysia. You may decide that you want to start the intervention for the bottom 35% rather than the bottom 20%. Yes, of course, all the data aggregates up at the child, at the class, at the school, at the group of schools, at the state, at the city. There's a lot of back-end analytics that you can do on that, but it's all based on the per child basis. Thank you. How are we doing on time? Shall I see if, does anyone want to see if I can link to the video? I'm a bit worried about trying to do a technology. Okay. Any other questions? Good. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. For those of you who would like to learn more at OXAD website is oxadandassessment.com. Ladies and gentlemen, our next focus is on Penguin UK Buy Me Books. Penguin UK Buy Me Books introduces an interactive audiobook and read aloud platform designed for students aged 4 to 12, serving as a valuable literacy development tool for educators. The platform caters to various developmental stages with an extensive library of award-winning children's titles featuring beloved characters from classic writers like Dr. Seuss, Roald Dahl, Peter Rabbit, and Eric Carle World. Interactive features include progressive reading levels, engaging narration, captivating graphics, gamification elements, and pronunciation assessment. Now, with great pleasure, I'd like to invite Mr. Hao Jin, the co-founder of ChamCapper, the world's first chemistry adventure game, which has garnered multiple honors, including the Asia Best E-Learning Award since 2017. Mr. Hao Jin has led NeBooks with a vision of making Penguin UK and its content accessible, affordable, and engaging for all children in Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Hao Jin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, my name is Hao Jin. Basically, Meebooks has been around since almost 10 years ago. So it's actually a UK company first, and then a group of Malaysian, myself, founders, medical doctors together. We came across this company in UK in Bath, I think almost 7 years ago, and we decided to bought this company over, and we try to expand into Asia. So that's a little bit of history of why UK and Malaysia companies together. Wow, yeah, I just climb up and come down. Okay, so basically, we are actually an interactive language development platform, cater for students from 4 to 12 years old. Okay, this is me, myself. So actually, as a Malaysian company, we are very glad that we are able to work with Penguin, Random House, UK and US. And we have been working with Penguin since almost 8 years ago. And today, we are able to work with Penguin in a large scale. We are talking about worldwide. As a Malaysian company, we are very honored to work with Penguin. And my topic today will be leveraging on Penguin content and empower language development. So this will be a new Meebooks platform for schools, library, and at home. This will be the first major collaboration for worldwide. And you can see that we are the one of the company among the 8 companies around the world that are able to work with Penguin at this scale. So this actually is, as a Malaysian, really, really proud, and my whole entire team in KL, Indonesia, and also Singapore, they really contribute a lot to this. So as you see that this is our new Meebooks version that we work very closely with the latest Peter and Jane series. We also work with Puffin. We also work with Penguin titles as well. So this is a little bit of track record of Meebooks in Sarawak and Malaysia and globally. So as a Meebooks, we actually are recommended by the Natural Literacy Trust from UK as their literacy app. This was also almost 10 years continuous. And we also a British Academic Shortlisted Award back then. So this is our statistics. We have almost 1.6 million users worldwide. Actually, we still have a lot of users from UK. And of course, secondary market is in Malaysia and US and Australia. And this is a little bit of history of Meebooks in Sarawak. Actually, we work very closely with Ministry of Women, together with Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. And also, most recent, we are working with DBKU. So DBKU have been using Meebooks for 2 years. This will be the 3rd year for now. So this is actually our one of the biggest project with Pustaka Sarawak, that we are able to launch a newborn project together with physical and audio, physical and digital that comes with audio. So this project was a successful project, that being the first from Malaysia to be featured in IFLA. So again, thanks to Pustaka. We hope that we are able to continue that success story for the many years to come. So this is our project with MOE. So this is with MOE Putrajaya federal level. So all our content will be translated to Bahasa Iban and also Kazakh and Semai. So our content will support these 3 different ethnics language for the primary schools and also the secondary schools. So this is our national library project that we are working with, of course, U-Pustaka. So if you have if you are Malaysian, you have an IC, basically you can able to access this version of Meebooks for free. And this is the new version of Meebooks. We still believe we still believe that we want to make great content accessible, affordable, and enjoyable. So when I say accessible, means that we want to bring Penguin content to allow every Malaysians to able to enjoy this Penguin and greatest content from UK. And of course, our technology actually support offline. So especially the rural area, when you access the MeBooks app, you just need basically to download once, you're able to access it offline. So basically, it will be catered for preschools to primary, secondary 6, and it will equip with the world's greatest content. So of course, there's a lot of award-winning contents that will be inside MeBooks. And of course, majority will be Ladybird, Puffin, and Penguin. And of course, one of the famous series will be Dr. Seuss. The whole catalog will be inside MeBooks. Eric Carle, which is millions of copies sold. These are all popular, I would say that the early childhood children books. Of course, we have Roald Dahl, Peter Rabbit, Ladybird, and also Charlie Lola, and many more. So of course, we have some stamp books as well from BBC. But it's a Ladybird and BBC together. So these are all the stamp books that we have. And we are also very proud that we will be the first to launch Peter and Jane, the new series in digital worldwide this June. Okay. So this is the latest drawing of Peter and Jane. It's not a classic anymore. So they have upgraded the whole illustration to be more inclusive on that. So we basically can access almost 10,000 content from Penguin, and we will start with 500 titles by this June. So this platform will be launched with 500 titles first, but for schools and for libraries, you are allowed to choose any titles from Penguin. We are able to upload into this platform. Yeah, okay. So MeBooks actually focus a lot about active learning, listening, and read aloud. So we believe that learning begins with listening, right? Basically, the first word that you learn in this word is Papa, Mama, or Mommy and Daddy, without recognizing the word at all. But it's through listening, you're able to speak it up, that particular word. So to us, we focus a lot about audio, and that's where we want to encourage the young kids to listen first, then able to speak it out loud, and then read and write. So writing is last. So of course, to listen, we want to work with the best voiceover artists from around the world. So this is some of the artists that we work with from UK and US. And of course, one of the famous Penguin books, Snowman, we work with Dr. Strange. So this is a recording that we done 6 years ago with Dr. Strange. Back then it's still affordable, but after the movie, it's not affordable anymore. Yeah. Apparently it's fast forward, but I'll skip to the next video, don't worry. Okay, so actually our application's a lot about, we call it active learning. So we are not a big fan of YouTube. So we don't believe in watching a video. So it's very passive learning. So we believe that you need to touch to hear. So this is where we allow the children, and as a school teachers, we are able to know that they actually, do they really read it? Or do they actually just flipping the books? So actually, we are doing a lot of calculations behind the scene when they tap on the tablets or the desktops. So basically, it's we call it tap to hear. And this is a short video. I really hope this video works. Oh, this is skipping. It's a fast forward thing. Okay, just switch out to the setting and then come back in. Sorry. Okay, maybe I play the Benedict Cumberbatch.
A snow dog. Billy was woken by a muffled bark.
At last, he came to an island.
Oh, I'll love you, banana.
Then the third little pig built himself a house of bricks.
Good night, son, said Little Fox.
And she lived in the forest, Pepper continues.
This is a short clip. You'll be wondering there's a lot of purple circles. Actually, those purple circles, we call it sound spots. Actually, our team and also the artists and also the publishers, we have put a lot of efforts into creating sound effects and slide script. So why we created so many slide scripts is actually we try to create the curiosity among the kids to be engaged within the books, besides the main narration. So this is another.
Time to play. In the caves above the forest, the bears were settling down for their long winter sleep. And stop. Tap this button to see a hotspot. Big scary cave. No, thank you very much. Double tap and swipe to delete. Hold down to record. I'm a brave little bear. Tap to play. I'm a brave little bear.
You can see this is actually a very simple function, but it's actually very useful for kids when we conduct in the kindergarten, especially or primary schools. Actually, we want to encourage them to speak aloud or read aloud. So it's not just about just reading from a book. So actually, we want them to play as the character. What will you say? Will you say, if you are a character of lion, will you roar like a lion? So they will roar in the class. So this is how we engage the kids with the technology support, right? This is what we encourage read aloud. So basically, the kids are able to make their own narration uniquely to them. Basically, we will ask the kids to split to groups. Each of them play different characters. So some of them will play as a tree, some of them will play as a wind, some of them will play as different characters. And you'll be wondering, how does it help teachers in classroom? So this is a traditional classroom setup. No offense, right? But with technology, you are able to bring to the next level, right? So we focus a lot about fun storytelling sections. So with the iPad, you are able to break down the students to groups, and you are able to ask every group to participate into different characters. You are able to record them. And immediately, you are able to share this recording as a teacher's permission to the parents. Okay? Or if you feel that you want to keep the recording as an assessment, yes, you can. So yeah. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to make whole reading became more fun, compared to just the teacher storytelling in the front. So we want everyone to be participate in this storytelling. So I used to be a very bad student. I always sit at the back, and teachers would do the storytelling. I was just like, yeah. But I didn't involve the whole storytelling at all. So that is a very typical school setting on that level. And you can see that in this dashboard, you can select every students in the class. If the students are playing as a lion, you are able to record them playing their characters. So by the end of a class, we are able to identify which particular students struggle in pronunciation or even speaking. So of course, you can switch storytellers among all. And of course, that's how I mentioned, you can share the recording. So when you share the recording with a teacher's permission, you can share with your parents. And of course, these functions allow the students to do the recording at home and share with the teachers as well. So of course, teachers will be able to do assign. This is pretty straightforward. Assign a book or series to the students. And we do have some assessments and measurements. So this is how we break down assessments and measurements. Every student, when they speak one word, they're able to earn a broccoli point, right? So I will share with you what do we do with the broccoli. So eventually we are able to identify the books, the recordings, the assignments, students, and we are counting how many interactions they're doing within the application. So it's not just about flipping the books, we are doing that. And we are able to know by them reading the books, how many words they're exposed to, and then where the teachers are able to help them as well. So you can see that you go further down, we will able to help the teachers to say that which particular students need more love. Means that these particular students are struggling in read aloud. And you can see the most book reads, and there's many things that we are able to track through technology. And this is individual students' progress. We are able to know which particular book their interests. Like example, they like to speak, they like to open a book of Bahasa Melayu or Mandarin or English. Or example, what would be the top interests? And it will be easier for teachers to engage a conversation with the children. So these statistics, we hope that we're able to help teachers to able to manage a class better, right? And this is just an example that when an individual student, we are able to know the recording they're done at home within the class. So if they do it in the class, we are able to identify which classmate they work with. And let's say at home, if let's say they engage their parents will be involved in this read aloud session. And of course, just now we talk about the broccoli. So the broccoli is actually a rewards that we are working on it. So in different countries, we are working differently. So in Malaysia, the kids are able to use the broccoli to exchange for school shoes and school bags. So this is what we're trying to encourage a whole ecosystem within the platform. And of course, you have the global leaderboard as well. And we will currently launch, in June, we'll launch the 6th country for the reward systems. And subsequently, we'll do more. And what we're trying to do here is we want even the rural students, the participants, and by reading, they're able to earn something for their school. Means that maybe they just want to have a shoe to go to school, or maybe sometimes they just want some allowance on that. So we are working with a lot of corporate clients on the rewards. And this is MeBooks platform versus most platforms. And you can see that teachers are able to do classroom recording and share, home recording, organize a read aloud contest, which is I'll show you a bit later, and measurements and so on. And of course, it support multilingual manual. Currently, we support Bahasa Melayu, which is our country language, Mandarin, English, and we are working on Tamil and Iban. Okay. So how does it help students and parents at home? So we are able to identify struggle pronunciations. So this is a dashboard for parents. So parents also can assign books for their children, and then also participate read aloud with their child as well. So they can add to 3 childs on that. And this will be something interesting for Pustaka. This is a new version. So it's very different from the U-Pustaka version. This is the new version. So for this platform, as a library, you are able to create seamlessly every month storytelling competition. All storytelling competition will be done within the platform digitally. So basically, if today Pustaka says that let's do a storytelling based on Charlie Lola, right? The posters goes out, everyone just able to submit their storytelling, which is the read aloud version, through digitally, and Pustaka will have a full dashboard to access all participants' voiceover. And therefore, you can choose which will be the best storyteller of the month. So every month, you are able to conduct activities compared to just asking the members to come to the library to access the application only. So this is what we realized that this is a storytelling competition, easily can be done in a dashboard. Just launch it, and all the users of Pustaka will get the updates. They will say that, oh, this particular book, example. So this is how they will do the submission. By the end of the book, they're able to submit the contest if they want. Right, so we actually make it seamlessly for users at home, or let's say library members come to Pustaka to use the iPads. They can do the recording on the spot and they can submit. Simple, without having a big budget to do a staged storytelling competition, so they can do it digitally. Okay, so basically they can able to personalize, they can act, they can simply save and submit. They can join as an individual, they can join as a family, they can join as a school, which is recording with their classmates or with their teachers as well. So some of the competition we encourage the students to participate with the teachers. Okay. So how does it support the government and ministry? I can't show the dashboard, but this is something very private that we are working with Penguin. But basically, the ministry level, we were able to have a full access to all school performance. So as a ministry level, you are able to identify which particular school the teachers are a bit lacking, or some of the schools are very active, or some of the schools have a lot of kids struggle in real loud. So this full data will be provided to the government level in a different way. So this is just a nutshell how it looks like. But we were able to present to the ministry by this June what is the details that we can able to provide. Yeah. And of course, it will be open platform for any existing content. So what I try to say here is if the MOE or Kementerian or let's say ministry have existing perpetual content rights, you are able to put into this platform easily. And we can able to lock for the members of Pustaka or Sarawakian Sony. So it's not just about Penguin content. We allow any content to be uploaded here. If let's say some of the teachers have their own content, feel free to upload into here and draw the hotspot with audios and able to share with the parents. So it's not just particular with our content. So this is what we have been working with Penguin, that it shouldn't just limit to Penguin content. It should be limited to, it should be open for everyone to upload the content. And example, some of the Pustaka have bought some rights. Let's say from rights from, I'll say that maybe from Solastix. As long as the perpetual rights, you still need to sit on some digital platform. So we can actually able to upload the digital content in this platform with the full function. And of course, this is some of the local children printables that you can upload. This is all our own publishing house. And we are proudly to say that we are able to support more than 8 languages. So we definitely working on Iban, Kalasan, Semai, and Tamil. So we hope that with this platform, we are able to benefit all Malaysians by this June. And again, just a quick summary, you can upload and then we do the sound, you're able to share. And why Me Books is basically we have the greatest content, and we are all Penguin content can be translated as well. So Penguin is very open for translation. If let's say we want to translate certain content from Penguin to Bahasa Melayu, we can. And of course, we focus a lot about listening and read aloud, and seamlessly that you can able to share your class recording and assign the work, and allow schools and library to create competition. So this is something that we feel that as a library, we want to create a lot of activities. Why not we create the activities through digitally, right? On that. And of course, the lastly is to support the ministry on an overview performance. And of course, we always believe that no child should left behind. The whole application, we were able to support dyslexic font. So this is something that we focus on, and all books content, we were able to, with one click, you're able to convert all the text to dyslexic font, and we support dyslexic students. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hao Jin. And now we invite questions from the floor.
By the system, the teachers also can add customized assessment on top of our assessment. Yeah. Our system are using a speech API to pick up the words. Of course, nowadays the speech API is very advanced, that able to break down to phoneme. But due to Southeast Asia setting, we don't recommend to show phoneme breakdowns. But we are able to identify which particular words they struggle, and we were able to trigger. These are the similar words that you're supposed to practice and read aloud. Yeah, because what we understand that a lot of Asian context, a lot of children Asian context, they won't understand the phonic symbols, so they couldn't able to pronounce the phonetically way. So what we do is we push audio. When they hear audio 3 times, 4 times, they're able to speak it out loud, instead of identifying the phonics, because not all schools are using phonics program. in even for Sarawak, I think we are most schools in Sarawak are using Sunshine or Oxford graded Oxford Reading 3. So of course we are Peter and Jane. So this is something that we are doing the measurement behind that identify which particular words they struggle and then push similar words for them to read. Usually when we provide the system, the time we will train the teachers how to use the platform. And of course, with our experience with Pustaka and National Library, we do train the librarians on how to use the platform in a library setting or a school setting or a home setting. So it's all different way of using the platform on that. Yeah. This is a very new platform that we launched. We hope that we able to launch within the next 4 months. We are still doing some fixing, and again that we are very proud to work with Penguin on this. And I would say that with this great content, our especially our Malaysian kids are able to access this content at a very affordable price. Yeah, it's not a price of physical. Yes, correct. So the whole community. So basically, when you subscribe to the school version, the whole parents will able to get the access at home as well. Yeah. But of course, the parents need to download one time, and you can able to access offline, even you have no internet. But the data will not able to push until there's a internet.
Thank you for the question, and thank you once more, Mr. Hao Jin.
Okay. Thank you.
Next on our agenda is the BBC Earth magazine. The BBC Earth magazine, an integral part of the esteemed BBC Earth channel, is released every 2 months, delving into science, history, and nature through opinion, thesis, and news article. It is not only enlightens readers unfamiliar with these subjects, but also provide critical perspective to inspire deeper thinking on contentious issues. This magazine holds value for secondary schools and college students, empowering them to produce well-analyzed essays and comprehend critical ideas in passages. Presenting the BBC Earth magazine will be Ms. Jaysim Xiaoqin, the director and publisher, and Ms. Tyra Robles, the reading program's writer and editor. Ms. Jaysim, the owner of Save Education, brings over 20 years of experience in the education industry. Starting as an editor for Nanyang Siang Pao in Kuala Lumpur, she started venture into Singapore in 2016. She established the company to foster lifelong reading habits. Ms. Tyra Robles graduated from the National University of Singapore with a bachelor degree in English literature. She has extensive experience planning and conducting education and reading programs under the BBC Earth magazines. Let's warmly welcome to the stage Ms. Jaysim and Ms. Tyra Robles.
So good afternoon, ministers. Good afternoon to our teachers, librarians, and educators. So before I start, I just want to thank everyone for this really great opportunity to share more about this publication and to share more about what our company is doing as well. So my name is Tyra. I'm one of the writers under the BBC Earth magazine, the Asia edition specifically. And today I'm going to be sharing more about this magazine and this publication that we have, and also how we've managed to use this title to cater to the different educational needs in the Singapore as well as the wider Asia market as well. Okay, so before I get started, let me play a short trailer. Yes, okay. so a bit more on the publication that we have. Okay, so the BBC Earth magazine, the Asia edition, it's a bi-monthly publication. So we publish one issue every 2 months, and we draw on content from 3 different pre-existing BBC Studios publications. So we draw from the BBC Science Focus, we draw from the BBC Wildlife, and we also draw from the BBC History. So it encompasses nature, history, as well as science in one publication. Okay, so you can think of the BBC Earth magazine as something similar to your instant 3-in-1 coffee, which I'm sure we're all familiar with what 3-in-1 coffee is, right? So in 3-in-1 coffee, you have your coffee powder, you have your sugar, you have your creamer. So similarly with the BBC Earth magazine, right, you have your science, you have your history, and you have your nature. Together, you get instant knowledge, right? So it's a very unique publication out there in the market, because most publications you see, they're very niche. They focus on one specific topic, but with BBC Earth, there's a wide variety of information in just one publication. So also very worth your money. Okay, so here are a few of the issues that we've published most recently in 2023. So the BBC Earth magazine, we go by volume and issue date rather than by giving a month as a date, right? And this is because we believe that knowledge is something that never goes out of date, right? So rather than indicating that this was published in 2023 and therefore the knowledge or the information given is only relevant in 2023, we believe that by putting the volume and the issue date there, it makes the information, it makes the knowledge a lot more timeless. Okay, so these are a couple of our issues from the most recent year. Okay, so we have our January-February issue, we have our March-April issue on obsession. Okay, one of my favorite issues would be the May-June one. So tired all the time. I'm sure many of us here can relate to feeling very tired, feeling very drained, right? So this particular issue, we talk a lot about why that's the case, and we also talk a lot about how to practice better sleep hygiene, getting better quality sleep as well. Okay, we have the bear issue. So this is our July-August issue. Okay, this issue did very well. Okay, people love seeing animals on covers. Right, we have our artificial intelligence issue. So this cover article is one that I will have my editor-in-chief share a little bit more information with in a couple of slides. Okay, and the most recent issue, our November-December issue from last year. Okay, so I will go through a little bit on what each magazine has to offer. So the most common features that you'll probably see in every issue of the magazine. Okay, so when you first open it up, you are greeted with these very large blown up images, right, with very short articles at the side. So this is our snapshots, right? So pictures speak 1,000 words. Okay, this is a particular section that is really useful for students who are a bit intimidated by very long articles of text, right? So this is really gonna get their attention. It's gonna get them to keep reading on. Okay, so we have science, history, and nature snapshots. So again, it follows the main topic of the magazine. Okay, we have our innovations. So this is more where we give updates on the latest technology, right? Very popular amongst our teenage readers. Okay, we have our world news / global perspective. So this is a section which I always highly encourage teachers as well as students to read, because this is where we incorporate a lot of current affairs. Okay, so for example, over here, you can see we have an article on microplastics. Okay, we split it up into 3 different sections. We have our review section, which is more to give background context. It's given in a way that is very easy to digest, very easy for especially students to read and comprehend, right? We have an analysis section where it dives a little bit more deeper, which we start to make extrapolations on what events are currently going on. And then we have our comment section where we switch to a bit more of an argumentative tone, right, where we get writers who are answering certain questions that readers might be having. Okay, so a very highly recommended section for students especially. Right, so our discovery section, so again, this is more scientific, right, what recent scientific discoveries are going on around the world. Okay, we have this very interesting audio feature. So within the magazine, there are always 2 articles that you will find that have this QR code over here, where once you scan in, you can hear this article being read out loud to you. Okay, so it's a very good way, especially for students, to practice their listening skills, right? So a lot of students nowadays, they find it very difficult to process information in an auditory way. Okay, so this is one way that we can help them to practice and to work on those skills. Okay, we have our Do You Know section, right? So this is towards the end of the magazine. Again, this is more in a question and answer format, really targeting those readers who don't have a very strong reading habit, right? So we ask them questions such as what would happen if the earth would stop spinning? Why is the green screen green? Okay, do animals hiccup? Right, so our main goal at JSTEM is to always try to build our reading habits, right? So this is a really great way, again, especially if students are not very comfortable reading long chunks of text, right? By getting them to start out with shorter articles, it can become more of a progressive thing. Just getting them comfortable with reading, especially getting them comfortable with reading nonfiction. Okay, towards the end of the magazine, we also have a brain test section. So we have a crossword, and we've also incorporated a wordplay section where we test our readers on the information, on the knowledge of vocabulary based on the articles in that issue itself. Right, so this is really to test their vocabulary, right? We also have the popcorn science. So this is a popcorn science where we relate topics that are scientific in theory, right, and also very technological. Okay, and we apply these theories to films that students are very interested in. So for example, this one is on Batman, this one is on Star Wars, right? So this is getting them to think about scientific theory in a way that is interesting and also relevant to what they care about and what they enjoy. Okay, with each issue of the BBC Earth magazine as well, it comes with these worksheets. So the worksheets are designed especially to hone our students' English skills, right? And they come in two different levels. So we have the advanced level, which is more for students aged from 12 and above. And then we also have an intermediate level, which is for students aged 10 to 12. Okay, so the main goals of the BBC Earth worksheets, right? So we want to provide them additional information that can really help them, especially with their examinations. We want to give them a more in-depth understanding, especially for history topics. So this is very evident, right, when we look at the intermediate worksheets as well, where we take the time to kind of extract out the history articles, which are a bit more difficult for our younger readers to process, and we try to summarize it in ways that they can fully grasp and fully understand all of these concepts. Okay? We are trying to provide them with extra arguments, extra criticisms, and we also want to really enhance their critical thinking and also their analytic skills as well. It's very important for students to develop that from a young age. Okay, we also really want to encourage good reading habits. So everything that we do at BBC Earth is to really get them to form those reading habits from a younger age. Okay, and also this worksheet is a very useful educational resource, okay? It's something that really gets them to encourage, it really encourages them to start reading. Okay, so a couple of examples of questions that you might come across in the advanced worksheet, right? So reading comprehension, okay, very aligned to what they are learning in their classrooms as well. And also questions that are more argumentative in nature. So again, this is for a higher level of reading. Okay, and this is what we use to encourage them to read and pick out information from the article, right? And to process it and write it out in an essay format. Okay, so for example, for reading comprehensions, right? So we base the article to enhance the understanding and also the literacy skills. We are basing it to different type of skill sets. Okay, so for example, we have inferential questions where we try to get them to read between the lines a bit more. Okay, we have literal questions, which are a bit more straightforward. And we also have our vocabulary questions as well, testing their ability to understand and comprehend these various vocabulary words. Okay, so back to the article on artificial intelligence. So AI is a very big topic, right? So not just within Singapore schools, but even some of my fellow speakers as well talked or touched briefly on this concept of artificial intelligence. So before I go on, I will have my editor-in-chief, Ms. Cheryl Tay, share a little bit more via video recording.
Hi, so thank you for giving me this opportunity to share more about BBC Earth Magazine. My name is Cheryl and I'm the editor-in-chief for BBC Earth Magazine, the Asia edition. In this video, I'll be touching on a few of my favorite articles from the BBC Earth Magazine, as well as how we can utilize it for your educational needs. one big topic that the whole world is talking about now is AI, artificial intelligence. I'm sure we all have our own opinions on it. Some people like it, some people are scared. I think for what it is, my personal opinion, this is just personal, I feel that AI is actually pretty impressive. But at the same time, if it is abused and not used correctly, it can actually be very dangerous. I think right now, experts are saying that AI can pose a very real threat. Because you're talking about like deep fake photos, so you can have pictures of yourself on the internet that looks so real, but it's not you. People can be talking to you through a video call, and it's not their face, but like for example, someone can use my face and my voice to talk to you, and it's not me. So things like that, I think, make people scared. Like how is AI gonna change the world from here? And many of the world's leading voices in artificial intelligence have begun to express fears about the technology. For example, like there's a potential, if it, like I say, if it lands in the wrong hands, it might it might result in very serious consequences, especially if misinformation is being spread, whether it's threat or privacy or personal data, and of course, cybercrime. So these are things that I think make AI dangerous. So the article that I really like, I mean, it's on our cover for the September-October 2023 issue, where it's about, the article is designed to discuss ways on how we can continue, because honestly, AI can help. It's a double-edged sword, right? As with a lot of things in our life. It can help tremendously. At the same time, it can also be very detrimental to our lives. So this article discusses ways where we can continue to develop AI safely to reduce the possibility of these negative consequences. I think this article answers questions like, is AI out of control? That's one. Because if it lands in the wrong hands, then we're looking at some very possible serious consequences. Next, there's also the question about whether AI will make us less smart, right? So you see how we can now generate images. Like if I take a photo of myself sitting here now, I can use AI to suddenly put me in the Maldives without even having to be there, right? Or it can help me, like with ChatGPT, can help me write the entire article without even needing to leave the comfort of my own home. So is it going to make us less smart, like I say, because we rely too much on this artificial intelligence? Are we becoming too reliant on it? And also, there are companies who are turning to AI to replace like writers, artists, even teachers and lawyers. So you think of it as like they're outsourcing the labor to AI. So that will also mean a loss of jobs for the people. I think this is also another question that the article addresses. There are advantages to it, especially developing possible solutions for like the climate crisis and all that, which is a very big issue in the world now. But what I like about BBC is also like the articles are not heavily skewed towards an idea. They show the different opinions, and so at least you're well equipped to make your own conclusions. Hi, so thank you.
Yes, so as my editor-in-chief Cheryl shared, AI is a very big topic of discussion. Really, in schools in Singapore, you will see a lot of discussion happening in classrooms. Okay, using the material and the content from the BBC Earth magazine, what we've done is we've managed to incorporate this question. Yes, okay. So right, so using the material and content from the BBC Earth magazine, so what we've done is that we've incorporated this question, this topic of artificial intelligence into the worksheet and also into our reading programs to not only provide students with the content that they need, but also how they can use the content, really the skills to help them incorporate this content into their essays as well, right, during the actual process of writing. Okay. So speaking of reading programs, what we have done is that we have taken the content from the BBC Earth magazine as well to come up with these English reading programs, which are targeted at students aged 10 and above to really get their English skills honed, okay, and to really improve their foundational skills. Okay, so a couple of things that the students will be learning and focusing on right? So not just non-fiction and non-narrative text, but narrative text as well. So understanding different literary devices, okay, understanding how this affects the way that the story is told, okay, and of course non-narrative text, so non-fictional text as well, how they can extract information, how they can pick out where the information is located in the text. Okay, we're teaching them how to summarize writing, right? So how can they take very long chunks of text and manage to condense it down into shorter paragraphs? Okay, again, persuasive writing is something that we really focus on. So giving them not just content, but also skills to take this content and to turn it into a very persuasive piece of writing. Okay, so crafting strong arguments. Okay, again, moving on towards like narrative writing as well. Okay, and also hybrid writing, which calls for a mix of different genres of writing, as well as the listening and speaking skills in terms of oral presentation as well. So these are all things that we, using the content from the magazine, that we aim to instill in them from an early age. And it's going to be supplementary and really help them in their school as well. Okay, so the BBC Earth Challenge now. So the BBC Earth Challenge is the island-wide competition that was previously held back in 2017. That was the latest iteration. So we gathered Singaporean students from the top schools such as Hwa Chong Institute, Raffles High, Nanyang Girls. Okay, and this is where we tested them on their general knowledge of, again, the main topics of the magazine, so science, history, as well as nature. Okay, so again, I have another video to play. Yeah. Okay, sorry, technical issues with the computer, so we'll skip past the video. Okay, the final thing that I wanted to share with everyone was the BBC Young Writer Championship. So during the course of the recent December holidays, what we did was we engaged with students from various schools across Singapore, okay, throughout the island, and we organized the Young Writer Championship. So we called for submission of both fiction and non-fictional pieces, right, aligned with the three topics of our magazine. So again, science, history, and nature. So we encourage them to write science fiction, we encourage them to write historical fiction, and also non-fiction, okay, anything that they wanted to write about, so long as it was centered around the topic of Singapore. So they had to write something about Singapore. Okay, so throughout the island, we received upwards of about 1,000 submissions from students aged between 8 to 13 years old. And now we are in the midst of selecting as well as shortlisting our top few submissions. So we are going to be hosting our award ceremony once we've selected our top few finalists. Right. This event is one that has been venue supported by the National Library Board of Singapore. Right. We are also supported by Kinokuniya in Singapore, as well as sponsored by Times Read Singapore. And we also have support from the Singapore Book Council as well. Right. So this is something that we are really looking forward to. Okay. The main goal for this writing competition that we've organized is to really get them not just to read content, but also give them an avenue for creative expression, right? Give them a way to put out what they have learned after reading the magazine. Okay, so that's the main goal that we have with this writing competition. Okay, so coming to the end of my presentation, I want to thank everyone again for giving me this opportunity to share more about this title as well as about our company. And we can open the floor for any questions. So thank you, everyone, and hope everyone has a really lovely day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tyra Robles. Following the BBC Earth Reading Program, we now have Just Too Easy. Just Too Easy provides primary schools with an award-winning suite of creative STEAM tools, resources, lessons, digital portfolios, and curriculum-aligned assessment opportunities. These tools empower the teachers to develop student higher-order thinking skills in a safe and purposeful digital environment for learning. The platform benefits both students and educators with multimedia progress tracking and feedback, along with a brand new parent portal that keeps parents fully informed of student progress. With that, let's welcome to the stage Mr. Alistair Cameron, International Academic Consultant, to enlighten us on Just Too Easy.
Thank you, everybody, and good afternoon, and welcome to you all, those of you that are here and all of those of you that are online as well. Before I begin, I would just like to extend and reiterate not just mine, but everybody here's sincere gratitude to Keith from UBSM for putting together today's event, and also to the Department of Business and Trade in the UK for enabling us to be part of this really important event. So, my name is Alistair Cameron. I am the Managing Director of a consultancy service in the UK called Comuni, and I'm here to do something in the words of a rather familiar British comedy act, Monty Python, and now for something completely different. I am here to talk to you about Tool Suite from a company called Just Too Easy. It's very dear to my heart because I've been involved with the team from Just Too Easy for many, many years. The principles of what Just Too Easy do and are is to develop and foster creativity in every area of the curriculum and enable children to be confident and literate in the world of digital, from kindergarten all the way through to grade 6 and beyond. The concept is that children can be creativity across the curriculum, be encouraged to share what they have learned, and to be able to learn deeply across the curriculum. Why have I put the slide of blooms there? The ultimate aim of outcomes for learners to be able to not only analyze and synthesize, but recreate their own learning. So who are we? We are a British company, started out in 2001, so we've been doing this for quite some time, and we've won several awards, many BET awards for the technology that Just Too Easy provide to schools. The very kind introductions at the beginning of the session today was British companies being invited here to come and tell you about how we do things in a number of different countries around the world. I'm going to share some examples directly, speaking in idioms here, from the horse's mouth. And I'm going to share with you some examples of what schools are doing today using Just Too Easy. Just to give you a sense of scale, so that you understand where this is, Just Too Easy is used by many different large national bodies around the UK. All schools in Wales use Just Too Easy every day to deliver many aspects of teaching and learning, and encourage children to be creative in doing so, to deeply and reinforce learning. The Northern Ireland government, since 2022, have been using Just Too Easy in all primary schools. Not only that, but the London Grid for Learning, they have had access to and are using it across 3,000 schools across the whole of London for over 10 years now. And Birmingham is the second largest authority in the UK who also use Just Too Easy on a daily basis. I could stand here and say that very easily. If you have Twitter, I would encourage you to look at Twitter and see any of tweets by including some keywords, say J2E or Just Too Easy, and you'll see teachers every day absolutely enthralled with the impact and level of engagement that Just Too Easy brings to their children. They share it of their own volition online because they want to ensure that other educators around the world can see the efficacy of using Just Too Easy in the classroom. Why are those other flags there? The Maltese flag is there because it's also used across the entire of Malta as an island. So Malta licensed the Just Too Easy tools to all schools in Malta. It's also been used in Malaysia. I've had the privilege of working with state schools, Chinese, Tamil, Malay state schools in Negeri Sembilan, in KL as well, just before the pandemic to prove the use of the tools from Just Too Easy in the classroom. The output from that specific report actually showed some really quite startling facts. The response from teachers using Just Too Easy in the classroom was that teachers were really surprised that students could be such great researchers and presenters of their own learning at such a young age. That was a phenomenal reaction from teachers, that they hadn't realized their own students were capable of independent research and production of excellent quality resources. So what it is an online platform, accessible on any kind of device. And I'm going to just take you through very quickly, because I'm acutely aware that all of you have been sat for a very long time. Thank you, everybody. Well done. I'm going to take you through some important fundamentals of what it is that we do. I'm going to start with literacy first, and I'm going to bring you some examples of what we do. So we provide writing tools, but interactive writing tools, not just writing tools that allow children to write like you would expect with Microsoft or a presentation, but we bring those things to life. We enable children to paint, draw, animate, create digital storybooks, narrate those storybooks as well. We encourage children to be creative by creating their own digital pages where they can present the information that they are learning about and have discovered to other children through safe digital blogs, for example. On top of that, we provide a number of lesson plans, learning activities and resources to help teachers get started with that. And this is an example here I'm showing you where I've actually done this in the classroom, where children have been presenting the things that they've been learning about, for example, the solar system, and children can create safely in an environment which is purpose-made for primary age children, things such as web pages or book reviews or presentations or essays, etc. And this is just another example here of children actually putting that together on a blog. So this is a real primary school, and this is created by a student who's in year 4. So that is an 8-9-year-old student who has presented this particular piece of work. But this is the proof in the pudding. I'm full of idioms this afternoon, sorry. This is a school that have been using Just Too Easy to on their laptops about the lesson about Julius Caesar, and have been creating a poster about what it is that they've been learning about. And the teachers just decided to tweet that out just to show what they were doing. And this example is, my reading is so bad, I have to look at the screen because I can't actually see the screen. This school here, we're using Just Too Easy's Write to publish our monster poems. And you can see, if you're looking at some of the children there, that they are actually creating pictures as well as writing about it as well. So it encourages children to improve their spellings, encourages them to improve their grammar, and gives them an opportunity to share that with the rest of the class here. And this is a lovely one where children in a school in Wales, they were actually remembering about their punctuation and grammar and taking an opportunity to learn about sentence structure and openers for beginning to write as well. Moving into STEAM and science, the platform has a number of interactive tools that are enabling children to learn how to use industry standard things such as an SQL database or a spreadsheet or some graphing tools, but we give them those tools to not only learn how to do that and foster those skills at a young age, propelling themselves much faster through their educational experience, but also they can gather the information, which makes it so much more meaningful too. So a student, and this actually does happen quite a lot in classes around the UK. If you ever drive past a school that's got children with maybe iPads or Kindles or even small notebooks at the school gates staring out, they're not just randomly wishing they were somewhere else, they're collecting data of all the different cars that are going past or how many people are on buses. And they're collating that data, they're putting that into graphs, and they're analyzing that information and then writing about it as well. So here, really simple ways of doing that. Yes, these tools are very simple, but when you put it in the hands of children, the impact is so meaningful that children can then really interact with the data and extract the information that they need, especially when it's relevant information to them. So this is an example of how you can put together even just a simple chart about favorite colors, for example. And this is an example of children creating their own branching database. So branching databases is actually a specific part of the national curriculum in the United Kingdom. And the National Centre for Computing in Education have produced a curriculum for teaching children how to question a database. Does it fly? Can it meow? Those kinds of questions, which are a literacy activity in themselves, learning on many different levels, can be put into a branching database for students to then interact with and play a game to learn about it as well. Now, the NCCE, which is the body that put this scheme of work together in the UK, actually recommend using Just2Easy to deliver that part of the curriculum across the UK as well. But we go even further than that. We give proper SQL tools to children where they can input facts, measurements, audio files, pictures, videos into a data set so that they can then extract meaningful information about that. Really simple, very easy to do, and a great learning tool for the class as well, especially when the teacher can then review the learning immediately in the class. So if I'm in the classroom with children, I will encourage children to take, for example, are you familiar with Top Trumps? Top Trumps is a set of cards, maybe fast cars, aeroplanes, loads of different data, and you'd compete to see who had the fastest vehicle or the fastest motorbike, etc., or one that weighed the lightest so it would accelerate the fastest. The concept of being able to hand out those statistics to children in the classroom so they can then input that data into the database. They will actually create the data set forms themselves. So you'll see that they can define what information they will gather, and then they'll input the data, and then they will extrapolate from that the meaningful information. And here's an example there too of children in year 2 who've been sorting their own database, sorting food and drink with various different questions. Really does give children an opportunity to understand the world around them through maths, through science, and through technology. Really brings it all together. And here we've got children, this was a little while ago, so but you must excuse that, but it just goes to show how well these tools have been used for a very long time. Students have produced a collaborative database. Well, that's right. Students around the world can do this at any moment in time. You can have children working in the UK, in America, in Sarawak, actually compiling a data set together at the same time live, and they will see each other's data appear as if by magic in their own database. Really creates a sense of globalized responsibility for handling information. We provide full coding tools as well. So if you want to get children doing computational thinking skills, this is how we do it. We provide a number of engines for children to learn basic computer skills, starting to develop their block coding, starting to develop their logo skills, and even using microbits as well. Full lesson plans, really interactive. I've done this as a live lesson in the Philippines. It was the most noisy session I've ever done in my life, but boys, does that stick in children's minds, and they really want to do this, and they can do this anywhere, anytime. And here you got some examples of the lessons and activities for children to create a spaceship and the targets to go around the number of different planets, etc. Or if you want to create some beautiful mathematical models, you can do that with the tools inside here as well. It's all in this one platform. And very dear to my heart, this is something that I run in my local primary schools, computing clubs, which I couldn't do without the use of J2 Code. We also provide a range of tools for completely exterminating the need for having Microsoft Office. We provide our own version of that, which completely interacts. If you want to load a Microsoft Office document in, you can do. It'll work and display inside Too Simple. Sorry, inside Just Too Easy. The J2 Office tools here includes the writing tools, so the presentation tools, the word processing tools, and spreadsheet tools as well. And it works literally on any device, no matter what kind of operating system it is. As long as you've got an internet connection, you can upload it, but there is also an offline version. So these tools you can use offline. And here's an example of the J2 Office writing tools. The J2 Office writing tools can also be used in real time. So you can see a number of students actually using this all at the same time. You'll see a teacher writing, you'll see a student writing, not all in the room at the same time, obviously, but you can see children interacting in these tools. So you can see, for example, students will be inputting data into a spreadsheet at various different points. And this is just an example of a PowerPoint that's inside the J2 Office tools too. Interactive learning, it's essential that it captivates children's minds and hearts, and a great way of learning literacy and numeracy is through games. So we've got tools here, games for practicing spelling, aligned to the UK national curriculum, equally aligned to CEFR spelling lists and words as well. So you can assign activities on a weekly basis or on a daily basis for children to go and practice by themselves or as a class together the spelling lists for that week or for the day, and teachers can track those results as well. So here, for example, is Spellblast, and children get the rewards, they get new logos, they get new avatars for doing those fun games and activities. It's frantic fun in the classroom. I would recommend headphones because it gets very noisy because the children are listening to words being spoken out loud, but it doesn't have to be English. It can be Bahasa Malay, it could be Tamil, it could be Chinese, it could be any language you wish. And the same for TT Blast. I think that goes without saying with just the screenshot there to show you how that's used. And the teachers get the statistics and the children get the results, and parents do too. And this is just an example of a tweet in May. This is a school in London, so one of the 3,000 schools that use it. Got some reluctant Year 6 students, give them some online practice of competitive games using the TT Blast and the J2 Blast. Suddenly, they're all desperate to practice their spellings and their sums. This is really fab. The early years tools are rather fun. There is a series of 7 different activities for children to use inside the Just Too Easy tool suite, from writing, painting, coding, charting, making pictograms, and animating and doing some branching databases, or mixing all of those things together. The really clever thing about the way that this technology works is that students can do this in Bahasa Malay, for example, but if they're making a picture, or if they're making an animation, children can go and, without leaving the platform at all, they can search the internet safely, not by going to another internet page, but just using the Just Too Easy tool. They can go and find safe, appropriate images in Bahasa Malay or in any other language, and then animate it. So that really means that the children are using the internet to the best of their opportunities in a totally safe way, without having to be exposed to all of the dangers that in the class or at home students might be presented with by using the internet openly. So they can animate about the jungle, or they can animate about a traditional tale, such as a crocodile, for example, and put that into any kind of creative writing task or storytelling class that they wish. And everybody loves smiling faces. Just the impact that this has on a class when children are really clearly enjoying themselves learning is all it needs to say. And finally, what I'm just going to run through here are the opportunities for children to earn rewards. So children can be rewarded for any activity that you want, whether that is a curricular-based activity or just being a good role model in the class. You can give positive and negative rewards to students. And you can see here children are being handed out rewards at the end of the week for their good work. There's a messaging system in there, which is a great way for communication between school and home and students as well. And anything can be set as an activity for homework tasks for students to complete, with audio or video on board as well. There's also a huge library of thousands of resources that are educator created or created by the editorial team from Just Too Easy inside the platform. And as you can see there, you can list down, this is the English version, but if you wanted to switch it into Bahasa Malay or into any other language, you could do that as well. So it's completely open to language changing. And then you'll be able to find the resources that you want to teach at any moment in time. This bit is all about the parent portal. One of the most fundamentally important things for improving the progression of students. John Hattie has talked about this in terms of effect sizes for many years now, is the involvement of parents in the learning process. As a parent of a student that has the tool suite from Just Too Easy in their class, at any moment in time, my phone can show me what my child has done in the class, their rewards, the homework, how well they're doing with their spelling, how well they're progressing with their maths. But it doesn't stop there. It means that the parent can then communicate with the school if they wish. Okay, that is the end of my show. I was hoping that I might have just a couple of seconds to log in and show you live, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is just say that I can provide all of this to a certain level completely free for all schools to explore and use in the classroom without logging on. We provide a free version of this so schools can actually use some of the tools. If they want to play some of the times tables games, if they want to do some of the English spelling, they can do. It doesn't enable you to track the progress, but at least it enables you to sort of sample the great impact that these tools can have. If you would like to participate free, for that, please do get in touch with Keith, because he'll be able to set all of that in motion for you and provide all the links for you to do that. So that's me done. Thank you so much for listening and paying such kind attention. If you do have any questions, now's your opportunity. Thank you ever so much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Alistair. Ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude our program today, to commemorate this moment, let's come together for a group photo taking session. So the photo will be taken from the stage. So we need your help to please fill up the seat in front. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have now come to the end of our program. Thank you for gracing us with your presence today. On behalf of everyone involved, thank you for your time, your presence, and your support. With that, I would like to cordially invite Encik Wan Mazli Wan Razali, Haji Salina Haji Zawawi, followed by our esteemed speakers, to the cafe window on the lake for refreshment. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Tersergam indah megah, menjadi kebanggaan kita, bukti wawasan dicita, maklumat dan pengetahuan, penuh terhimpun harta ilmu untuk kita terokan. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, wadah ilmu untuk semua, bersama kita manfaatkannya. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, berteknologi dan berusaha, berkhidmat ikhlas untuk kita. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. Tersergam indah megah, menjadi kebanggaan kita, bukti wawasan dicita, maklumat dan pengetahuan, penuh terhimpun harta ilmu untuk kita taruhkan. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, wadah ilmu untuk semua, bersama kita manfaatkannya. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, berteknologi dan berusaha, berkhidmat ikhlas untuk kita. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. Dipenuhi aktiviti, sentiasa dikunjungi, Pustaka